ability, but also face very stiff competition in a very crowded NFC landscape. And when I saw that, I thought, I'm very nervous. I think artificial intelligence is coming at a really fast clip, and it's because I don't know if I could write that up. I wouldn't use the boring of terms as what AI Grok did. But I think that's a pretty fair assessment of where the Packers are through 12/10 of 2024.
Okay, so if I may, because this is a hot-button issue for me, where do you think Grok and ChatGPT get the information to create this artificial intelligence answer that you're getting?
I think from the web.
Right, so from Domofsky and the real people like me who do radio programs and tweet out polls about which team in the NFC are you rooting for, all those things. AI is like a clearinghouse for all that, and then it distills it down for someone like you. So it takes all of our work, including yours, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And then gives it away in a boring format, as you just put it. How can you be a fan of that?
I didn't say I'm a fan. I said has anyone said they've been more concerned about artificial intelligence? All I'm saying is this is another
version.
This is a stark reminder of how fast this thing's moving. And I know we joke about robots and everything else, and now I'm looking up and I see there's stuff going on in is it New Jersey where they don't know what the hell's going on with drones flying around. I don't know what to think of anything anymore. All I'm saying is this train is a-coming, and I don't know what to make of it. All I'm saying is I read this, I saw it, and I thought, that's pretty accurate. That's a pretty accurate assessment. And yes, they're getting it from us and from really smart Packer people. Agreed.
Badgers radio analyst.
So I thought that was a good synopsis, and it makes me more concerned about what's going forward than what was happening before. And that was it wasn't my greatest tease of all. That's why I was a little leery to even bring it up.
Your concern is about AI. It's not about the description that AI gave you of the Packers. Like the fact that their defense. What did it say?
I think the description of the Packers, I think, is very accurate.
Right, and so those concerns are baked into the cake. Right.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
There you go. I just want to make sure I'm crystal clear.
Oh, you're crystal
about that.
But so, paint me the picture. Old T, very busy guy, right?
Yeah.
Got basketball.
Great interview with the new offensive coordinator yesterday, which I think I'm putting in a request. We did about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm trying to get an unedited version. We're gonna play that. Either we could play the 8-minute clip. I want the whole thing.
Okay.
So we'll see, because it was a really interesting conversation. I did not know Jeff Grimes at all. He was with Andy Reid. He was with Mike Sherman. He has a long history. He's an offensive lineman. That's his deal. So pretty good banter. Tried to find out some different things. With being the fact that he's been in the building for a day, it made it, but he could have given the I don't know yet answer a lot more than he did. So and I'm going to AI that, and I want to see what they think of of that. I now want to check with AI, because there's another story that came out that I know we both have strong opinions on, that I think I want to plug in the old AI Grok and see what happens there.
Could you stop saying
the
Grok?
Michael Strahan, Mark Gastineau, Brett Favre.
Oh.
And I don't know where to all go with that. Vinny and the boys asked me about it this morning.
Oh, how'd you handle that?
Do I think that Brett took a sack? I do. Yeah, I was very clear about that right after the game. As a matter of fact, I had someone, and I don't even remember who, if it was a player or a member of the PR staff, come up to me and say, "Chill, B," because I was pissed.
I'm aware. I was there.
So, being a teammate, you have to understand big picture things. I didn't like that one bit when it happened. Of course I didn't.
So I was hoping.
So I'm going to plug in, as you talk, I'm going to plug into AI Gronk.
All right, wait, just stop. Just hold on. Because among the things that I was hoping for was that, because this kind of came up yesterday, and you did not really have a whole lot of interest in going there. And then
when did it come up?
I brought it up because I said Joshy had sent me the clip of Gastineau confronting him, and I don't think you had watched it yet. And look, Mark Gastineau, from what I'm seeing from the teases of this 30 for 30, is kind of a knob.
He's pretty bitter.
His teammates,
he's very bitter.
He is, but his teammates like Marty Lyons and Joe Klecko are interviewed, and that's from my era of growing up watching football, the New York Sack Exchange, which is one of the greatest nicknames ever, by the way.
Great nickname. If it wasn't that great of a nickname, would they be that? Because it's the Purple People Eaters. You got Monsters
it's a great
of the
nickname.
Midway.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, no doubt.
If it wasn't that great nickname, I don't think they got a 30 for 30. I'm just being honest.
No, I think you're probably right. But, Marty Lyons is in there, and another defensive lineman is in there going, yeah, Gastineau loved to sack the quarterback, but he'd never played the run. He had no interest in that.
Great, Bob.
That you don't score points with your teammates when you do that. But
by the way, there's been plenty of defensive linemen you can make that same claim about. Because
that's very fair.
As my old buddy Josh Sitton always used to say, you don't get paid to run block, you get paid to pass block. Well,
right.
Pass rushers, they don't get paid to stop the run, they get paid to rush the passer. And we're not talking about Rashawn Gary not setting an edge. We're talking about him not getting pressure. So we're just as culpable in this as Marty Lyons, Billy Lyons, Johnny Lyons, and Denny Lyons.
Who was the guy that played for the White Sox? His last name was Lyons, and he
Greg Luzinski?
No. His last name was Lyons, and he slid into home head first, and he got a bunch of dirt in his pants, and he unbuckles his pants right there to get the dirt out. It's a famous clip in baseball lore, but apparently not famous to you.
Must be. You can't remember his name.
It's something Lyons. Steve Lyons, maybe?
Sure. We'll go with that.
So all right. I don't want to do it now because I want to get to Bulaga on time. But
Steve Lyons. Steve Lyons is the guy's name.
Good.
I just got
all right, nailed it.
Okay.
All right. So
thank you, OG.
I do want to get to this though because I love Sam Decker. He's a friend of the show. We really like him. But he retweeted some video of the play, and of course he ducked. He's about to get his head taken off. Sam, look at the play. They're run blocking. He ran a different play. Come on, man. You gotta know what's going on here. And so I don't want to. We'll do this another time, and we'll put it on the list, and I won't forget, even if you do. But this is fascinating, and it's germane now, this many years later, because they have the clip of Gastineau confronting Favre, and then Favre goes on social media yesterday.
What did you think of the clip there?
I don't like ambush journalism. They clearly, the video folks. I mean, it's not like he confronted him, and by the way. The camera just happened to be there at the time. This was clearly a setup. Now, look, Favre's full of you-know-what. And if I could swear on the radio, I would say that word here. Because then he takes to Twitter.
Can you say the P word there, or is that not allowed?
It pisses me off that he would be so dishonest.
So you can say it that way?
I can say it that way, yeah. I just can't say what is in my urine tract or whatever you call that. So,
gotcha.
He goes to social media yesterday with this BS story, and what bothers me is that we now live in a world where enough people, if they just accept your lies. We were all there that fateful day at the Meadowlands. We know what happened.
First off, it wasn't a fateful day. It was an awesome day for us.
Well, no, fateful in terms of that moment that this controversy was born. You won the game.
Okay. Yeah.
But those of us I was saying this yesterday on the Homer Hour with Strofe and John Anderson, I have seen the Green Bay Packers offensive line really, 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 really pissed off twice. Once was then, and once was on 4th and 26 when Mike Sherman told you guys, we get another 4th and 1, we're going for it, and we're getting it with some colorful language in, and then you guys punted late in the game instead of going for it. So I was there. I know that. I deal in facts.
Just wait, those are the only 2 times in 30 years? Get out of here with that.
That's impressive.
No, only the
no
only
way.
2 times when I've seen you guys that pissed. Those are the 2 most angry moments that I've ever seen from the offensive line group. I think you would.
Okay.
I think you would agree with that assessment.
Well, I just think there's been a lot of other.
Oh, yeah,
obviously, those are 2 moments.
Yeah, I don't get to see them all.
No, okay. Well,
I mean,
that's
you guys.
hyperbolic by you, but it's good hyperbole. It's good hyperbole.
You wouldn't even talk to me after that Giants
Continue.
game. Must have been after the PR guys got to you. Anyway, Favre is full of crap, and what he wrote on Twitter is a lie. And I don't know why he can't just say, hey, yeah, you know what? I was trying to do a solid for Michael Strahan. I didn't really think about all the unintended consequences. I'm really sorry to Mark Gastineau because I understand why he's pissed. I would have appreciated that and respected that a hell of a lot more. Instead, he flat out lies. That's not what happened. We all know what happened, Brett, so please don't do that. Now, can 2 things be true? Can Mark Gastineau also be a selfish weenie? Sure. That's fine. It's, again, not my concern.
Yeah, and I do wonder how much, because it seems like he's irritated on a couple of fronts. Like, that sack record is going to get broke. There's another game. Like, there's a lot of really good
for
players.
Sure.
But I get it. I understand that. The other part of it I don't fully get, like, is that 1 sack that Strahan got not the reason he's in the Hall of Fame? Like, no. That's not. That has nothing. That's apples and oranges, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make any sense. I think Gastineau came off pretty bad.
Not a
this
great
thing
look.
too. I think he looked like an idiot. Now, with that said, I don't think I want to. I think he is ready. I think he would have loved to have went and sacked Brett, tried to break his hip right there.
Right there. Yes, indeed.
In that warehouse. I think he wanted to drill him.
Well, maybe we'll check in with Brian Bulaga and ask him how he would feel in this situation. But I want to get to him on time. So tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and we'll table the great Strahan sack controversy for another time.
Yeah, it wasn't a sack, just for the record, so we all are on the same page. I've gotten a lot of Twitter mentions about that, and we will get into that later. Yes, that sack was magical for Michael, and so is Santa Claus. But his elves, they aren't qualified to build Pella windows and doors. Too many options, too many customizations. So instead of going to the big red fella, take advantage of this Pella deal. Get as low as $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on December 31st. Visit PellaWI.com to learn more.
I do want you to paint me a picture of you sitting in a lonely hockey rink or wherever you might be asking Grok all these questions, because I do believe you also asked Grok to describe our show.
I did. I sent
and
you
if
guys
you'd be
that.
kind enough to look that up and see what the answer was you got, you could tell us that.
I already sent it. I sent it over.
Or maybe I'll read it for you then. I thought maybe I'd give the floor to you, but that's okay. I'll read it from what Tausch sent me, and I'll do it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Winter is here. Don't let your car care take a backseat. Protect your car against rust, salt, and grime this season at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with their state-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and convenient unlimited wash memberships. Try their new best-in-class T2 with graphene wash for the ultimate long-lasting shine and protection. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Yo, check out this new dance I'm posting.
Man, it looks like your phone's slow dancing. It's still loading.
Don't clown me, bro. My service is always acting up.
That's why I joined Cricket Nation. Their nationwide 5G is no joke. Streaming, posting, gaming.
For real?
Yeah. While your phone's playing freeze tag, I'm living my best digital life.
I guess I better 1-2 over to Cricket Wireless.
Keep your digital life strong with 5G. Welcome to enjoying more. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile. You're on Cricket. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Give the gift of game this holiday season and spread the joy with a Milwaukee Bucks gift card. A guaranteed slam dunk for every fan on your list. Recipients can score tickets to Bucks games and other Fiserv Forum events through the Ticketmaster box office. Shop exclusive gear at the Bucks Pro Shop or get their favorite snack at Fiserv Forum's concessions. It's a big win for both you and them. To purchase a gift card, visit bucks.com/gift cards.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. While the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday.
What does Grok have to say about Wilde and Tausch? Well, let me tell you.
How accurate do you think this will be, according to you and our fans?
I think it's pretty accurate, actually. So my question, as you know, is where did AI Grok get this from? Because Grok ain't listening to the show. And I picture, is it just me, or what? Since your guy Elon named it Grok, doesn't it sound like a big ogre? Like, don't you picture kind of like a Shrek-ish looking character that's doing all the research on like a tiny little typewriter, hunched over?
I don't know.
In a tree
I
house.
legit, whether it's Chat GPT, there's probably like 7 or 8 of these operations going. I don't know. I am firmly, and I don't want to go into conspiracy theories that your phone listens to everything. I think we all know that it does. I think it's just accumulating, and I think there's these data centers just churning through, and they spit stuff out. I don't know. Like I am as intrigued by this as I am as intrigued by the drones flying over Jersey and everywhere else that nobody knows about. Like I'm intrigued by a lot of stuff. Those are two things that intrigue me.
So you're in typical screenshotting Tausch fashion. I only have the bottom portion of Grok's description.
Yeah, I don't know how to send.
I'm not sure what was at the top. I assume it focuses on our constant discussion of the Green Bay Packers. But apparently we also talk about NFL and sports analysis. They analyze broader NFL trends, discuss potential trades, the performance of other teams, especially those within the NFC, and compare players or strategies with historical context. There's
what
also
I love, too, is they gave me some love for my analogy work, which I fully appreciated.
Fan interaction. The show often features segments where they take questions or reactions from fans.
Is this how you think AI
It's my Grok
talks?
voice. Yeah.
Okay.
Cultural and local events. They occasionally touch on local Wisconsin culture, like discussing the first snow of the year or the impact of local businesses like Quick Trip and Fleet Farm.
Yeah.
And finally, humor and personal anecdotes. Their show includes lighthearted moments with Tauscher's Hall of Fame analogies and various humorous segments like Whoa, Nelly. I'm not sure that's necessarily humorous. And headlines presented by Fleet Farm. It does not say their headlines were better when they were songs. Finally, their discussions are known for providing both a professional analysis from Wilde's perspective and as a perspective as a sports writer, and Tauscher's insights as a former Packers player, blending insider knowledge with fan-level engagement. I'll tell you this, I'm not a fan of AI, but I'm a fan of their description of us for sure. So
our good buddy Dan Kelly just texted me, said we should, now that we got Grok, we should put ChatGPT and see if it's a similar reading of
it's
it.
Funny you say that, Tausch. It's funny you say that. Okay. While Jason was reading, I put it into ChatGPT.
What a producer.
Would you like me to read what ChatGPT says? Well,
do they write it out longhand with a quill pen or no?
No, unfortunately not. That's just a me thing. At first, it thought you were a popular German radio talk show, and then I had to specify that I meant the one on ESPN Wisconsin.
Sehr gut, Mann, ja.
Just wait. Is there a Wilde and Tausch German edition?
There might be.
That we're missing?
Wilde and Tauscher, ja.
It's
a popular Briefmarke, and they go through all of the different stamp collectors throughout Munich and Berlin and Bonn, Bern.
Yeah, supposedly the German version revolves around a range of topics from politics to culture, sports, and societal trends, offering listeners a fresh perspective on the news. But going down to your actual show, the Wilde and Tausch Show on ESPN Wisconsin is a popular sports talk radio program hosted by Jason Wilde and Mark Tauscher. It primarily focuses on coverage of Wisconsin sports teams, particularly the Green Bay Packers, as well as other major sports news and topics of interest. Jason Wilde is a veteran sports journalist, and Mark Tauscher is a former NFL player known for his time as an offensive lineman for the Green Bay Packers. Their chemistry and differing perspectives, Wilde's journalistic insight, and Tauscher's first-hand experience as a former player make the show engaging for listeners, especially Packers fans. The show covers a wide variety of sports-related topics, including in-depth discussions about Packers games, player performances, and the latest NFL news. They also touch on other sports topics, such as college football, basketball, and even national sports stories. The show often features interviews with sports figures, coaches, and analysts, as well as listener interactions. Final paragraph here. The Wilde and Tausch Show is known for its lively and often humorous tone, blending serious sports analysis with fun, relatable discussions. The host's down-to-earth style and approachable manner make the show a favorite for Wisconsin sports fans looking for both entertainment and in-depth sports commentary, period.
Dude.
We're the greatest show ever!
You know what they forgot?
Quick Trip.
Potatoes.
Potatoes!
Hey!
Potatoes are still for sale. You got a couple more days. You guys know how much I love Quick Trip, and you know what? I love a good deal, and Quick Trip always has them, but this is a really good one, especially with the holidays. 5-pound bag, russet potatoes, 99 cents. Just think of all the meals you can make, all those cozy fall recipes. Potatoes fit. And you got chicken. Oh, man. Roasted whole chickens.
Chicken.
I just sent that picture of how to carve up one of those rotisserie chickens perfectly and quickly. Today is Wednesday. That means you can get bone-in chicken or chicken tenders, $9.99. You can also grab some white bread, 99 cents a loaf. And I'm still a believer that this is the best thing going. You get that rotisserie chicken on Monday. Have yourself a meal. And then later in the week, carve that bad boy up. Get those tortilla shells for $1.99 and make yourself some enchiladas. What a deal. And you got Don's Pizzas 4 for $10, and you get ice cream. Gallons of Nature's Touch ice cream, $5.99. Download the Quick Rewards app. Order ahead. Earn points. Order all your favorites. Save on fuel. What a deal that Quick Trip has, or you can get everything brought out to you curbside. And what do you always like to say, Jason? We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Brian Bulaga gets to join apparently the greatest radio show in American history, and he'll do it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Kevin Moret for Mentality Men's Health. I know that a guy's confidence comes from many sources. For our clients, the way they look is a big driver. When you have the muscle mass and the muscle tone, it changes the way you carry yourself. Did you know that 70% of Mentality clients have increased muscle mass and muscle tone through testosterone and peptide therapy? Their confidence is back and everyone can see it. If you want to recapture the way you look and felt years ago, join the over 25,000 clients and start today. Go to mentalityhealth.com/radio.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. There's no wrapping needed, and this season you can try their newest holiday pastry, Eggnog Kringle, created to bring festive cheer to your celebration. Filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon, it's perfect for sharing with loved ones. Go to Kringle.com to order or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, it's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
There's no better place to shop for the sports fan in your life than Brewtown Trading Co. Milwaukee. Not only do they have the largest selection of sports cards in the Midwest, they have the best prices too. Framed jerseys ready for the man cave? Check. Sealed hobby and blaster boxes of the hottest releases? Check. One-of-a-kind items you won't find anywhere else? Triple check. Open 7 days a week at 4285 South 76th Street and 24 hours a day at BrewtownTrading.com. Make this holiday extra special for the sports fan in your life today at Brewtown Trading Co.
It's the year-end rate reduction sales event at Wilde Automotive Group. Get rates as low as 4.9% on our best used cars and make no payments for 90 days. 4.9% and no payments till March 2025 on over 600 vehicles at 10 Wilde Automotive Group locations. Don't wait. Get a better rate during the year-end rate reduction sales event. Get to your nearest Wilde location today.
Go to EWaldeAuto.com.
With approved credit, interest accrues from date of purchase. Expires month end.
Seems like gift season kinda snuck up on us, but Fleet Farm's ready to help. For the griller on your list, the Pit Boss Sportsman 500 pellet grill is now $249.99. For the pizza lover, the Biaggia pizza oven is just $79.99. Plus, Milwaukee deal days are happening all week long. So save on the hottest Milwaukee tools, like the M12 2-tool combo kit for just $99. Stop in soon and wrap up your gift list at Fleet Farm, home of the best prices, guaranteed.
Every day, Wisconsin's 600,000 family caregivers help their loved ones to continue living safely in their own homes. It's not easy. Each year, they spend an average of $7,000 out of their own pockets to provide this care. Wisconsin needs family caregivers, and they need more support. Tell your state lawmakers, Wisconsin family caregivers need a caregiver tax credit in 2025. Learn more at aarp.org/WI. That's aarp.org/WI. Paid for by AARP Wisconsin.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
You know what that music means. My favorite time of the week. Joining us now, it is Brian Bulaga and his tiny little Christmas tree. Brian, before we start, I have a question for you and Tausch. Would you say that Abby and Sarah are nice to you? Because here's why I ask. So Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is coming. Alex Della, Ryan Pamperin. So I figure, hey, they're coming right at noon. So I shower. I got my workout in. I showered. Paula comes down here. She says, Pella's coming at noon. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I showered. She's like, you showered? You don't look like you showered. What is that? Is that necessary?
Oh, man. Wow.
Is this commonplace in your marriages, too, or is this just me?
I mean, every now and again, I'll get a shot across the bow like that at me. Like, hey, did you... I'll say, I picked up a little bit. She goes, you call that, like, cleaning up? I'll be like, oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I guess that... All right, sorry. My bad. Like, yeah, you're right. I guess that... Not good enough. That's fine. I get it. So, yeah, I mean, I get those shots. That's okay. All right, though. I just take it. Take it, move on.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
No need to put up a fight about it. Yeah. Take it and go.
I just took it and put it on the radio instead. Hey, I know that I have a reputation when you join our program for bringing up certain events again and again and again. And I kid because I care, but I will not say anything about it today. I will just ask you a very straightforward question, and that is, the Green Bay Packers are playing in Seattle on Sunday night. Can you give us a glimpse into the challenges that come with playing a game in Seattle?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I've had a lot of experiences out there.
Indeed, you have.
Mostly bad, to be honest with you. Mostly very bad. I don't think I've won a game there, to be honest with you. So now that I think of it, I don't think we've won a game out there.
You guys, I think you won in 18. I got to go back and look, but I think you might have won it in the 18 season. Mike's last year, maybe.
Maybe no. I think we lost that game.
Oh, you.
I think we were wearing all white. I think we were wearing all white that game, if I'm not mistaken. I think we lost.
You did 27-24. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah. So it was hard to go there and win. And when they're playing really well, and they're starting to play well right now, they have great support from their fans, and it is a very tough environment to go to, whether they pump in crowd noise or whatever it is with that stadium. It is very loud, and their team feeds off that energy really well. And the last few years, I mean, I get they made a little resurgence last year and whatever it may be, but this is a couple years in a row now that this team is starting to show life again, right? They got a new head coach now, 1 year removed from Pete Carroll. There's a lot of positive signs coming from the team, and they're winning football games, and they have a chance to make a playoff push. So this crowd is going to get behind them, and it's Sunday night. It's going to be a pretty electric atmosphere, and these guys are going to have to be ready for it. And I'm not sure if they've been to this stadium. Have any of these guys even been to this stadium, Jason? Like a lot of these younger guys?
Yeah, so I was talking to Elton Jenkins, and as I was talking to him on Monday, it dawned on me that 18 game was the last time the Packers played there. So basically it's Kenny and Jair are the only two that have ever even played there.
Mm-hmm. So these guys don't really understand what they're about to go into. It's a rough environment. Now, I don't know enough about Seattle's defense and who they have on that side of the, I don't know enough about them to know the challenges that they create up front, like they did when we were playing them, with Bennett and Averill and Wagner and all those guys that they had, like that. With that crowd noise and those pass rushers, and
Jason, I know Jason is chomping. There's another DN that he wants to bring up that he is
in 2013. Bruce Irvin in 2013. Bruce Irvin,
2012
or 2012, 2012. Bruce Irvin. Those guys with that crowd noise created it was a very difficult environment to play and to communicate in and to be on the same page. And so I'm not sure what it's going to be like with their front guys. But if they thought it was loud in Detroit, it's going to be very similar, if not worse, Sunday. So they're going to have to be on point with everything this week, and maybe even a little bit more than what they thought they had to do last week in Detroit.
Blue, how much did it change? And this is, you guys were an experienced crew. Linemen, you guys had, when David Bakhtiari joined us on our Players Only, and we went through that, looking at the quarterback's foot and all. How much of a difference from a game plan and a calling game, if you're Matt LaFleur, do you look at, especially early in the game, to not get in those positions where you're putting young offensive tackles in a tight spot in a really loud joint?
Yeah, he's going to have to be pretty cautious early on with how he kind of works this first 15, right? Like he's going to have to be, I don't want to say like overly like protective of them, like, because you got to let the team play and you got to see how this thing's going to work itself out. But you can't be letting these guys just, 7-step drops and 5-step drops and leaving them out there alone within the first 15 a bunch. Like, you just can't do it. Like this, I would, if it's me, I'm a lot of play action where you're keeping a tight end in, a lot of pocket movement, a lot of 3-step drop to open this thing up. Let these guys get a feel for the game. Let them get a feel for the crowd noise, what it's going to sound like. Let them get their feet set with getting off the snap count so they get comfortable within that first series, because it's very hard to get comfortable there. Like, and based on how the momentum goes in the game, like one series could be way louder than the next, and it changes throughout the game. So that first series, it's about as loud as it's going to get when you walk out onto that field. Like, unless it's in the fourth quarter and it's a tie game and you're trying to go down a score or whatever it may be, that first series is as amped up as it could be. So that's the time to let these guys settle in and figure out, how they're going to get off the rock, how they're going to communicate. So let's make this thing as basic as you can get it to start. And we could talk about all we want. Obviously, the run game is going to be huge. We get that, right? Like, we have to run the football. We could talk about that from game to game here with the Green Bay Packers and how important that is. But there's nothing better than on the road in a loud stadium to be able to run the football, because what that does, that bores the crowd, right? That bores the away crowd.
Right.
When they're not rushing the passer or almost getting close to Jordan Love or almost sacking him or hitting him, that quiets down the fans, because they want to see sacks or hits. If you're just running the ball and you're getting 4 or 5 yards a carry, that bores them, and they quiet down and they sit down and all that. So like that's what you want to get into, right? And we'll see how Matt LaFleur kind of goes through that, but it all depends on how this game works itself out, right? And you really wanted to get into that with Detroit, but the game always, the game plays itself out in different ways, and you have to adapt to it. But if I'm him, I'm kind of getting some easy ones to start with these guys to let them settle in and see how it goes from there.
Brian, I'm curious, and I did not get to take in the players only, but I had a brainstorm while I was walking the dogs, because that's when I do my best thinking. I would love for you, if we could figure out a way to do this, and of course I'm here to create more work for you, because that's what I like to do for people. I'm really curious. I think it would be fun for fans and for me if we could do a screen sharing of you breaking down the film like you do every week, because I think it would make us all a lot smarter, because I love that you do it, and it makes us better as a show. I'm curious, when you do it, how much are you looking at the big picture, and how much of it is you focusing on your area of expertise of the offensive line? The reason I ask that is because my project for this week, even though I wrote about it earlier in the week already, is I want to see how often Jaden Reed is open. Yeah. Because that is one of the mysteries of the last month, is from 5 catches for 113 yards in the loss to the Lions to being persona non grata in this offense. What the hell's going on out here?
Yeah, I was going to ask you the same question, because it's kind of a head scratcher. So what I like to do when I watch it, right? Like I like to watch with the all 22, it gives you that high up sideline view to start, right? So you kind of get the wide view of the sideline copy, which is not like the TV copy where it's zoomed in a little bit more. So you get the sideline copy where you can see the entire field. So I like to look at that just to kind of see, potential movement from safeties and line, but just see general alignments, and then you can see some route patterns and where guys could be open or whatnot. And I pay attention to it, but it's not where I, spend a bunch of time on, right? Like the only way I'll go back to it is if there's good protection and he gets sacked, and then I'll go back and watch it again and be like, okay, well, was there anybody even open on this, or did he miss somebody, or what happened here, right? Where was what went on in the secondary here that he took a sack? So it's not something I spend a whole bunch of time on. I mean, what I do then is I'll go back, or then I'll move on to the backside of the play where, you can see some routes downfield, but it's really just the offensive line, Jordan Love, and you can kind of see that back angle of the play, and I'll just kind of go through it 2 or 3 times and watch the guys as you go through, and if you see a breakdown, so to speak, you'll watch that again and kind of just take a note of it and move on, and that's the way I go through it. On defense, it's a little bit the same way, right? Like I think defensively, I go through it a little bit the same way with the cornerbacks, because I'm not I'm not going to sit here and say I'm something that I'm not very proficient with breaking down cornerback play and safety play, right? Like I see McKinney, what he does and how he's able to fly around, and Evan Williams and how good they are. Yes, that's very easy for me to see, sure, right? That's very blatantly obvious how good they are. I get it. But I'm not proficient in understanding everything about them. So I don't want to make something up that I have no idea what I'm talking about. But when it comes to the front 7, which is why I prefer that one copy, that the second view, that's what I like to watch. So the front 4 and the linebackers, that's the copy that I prefer to watch. And that to me is you get to see how D linemen fit, the linebackers fit, the pass rush, and things of that nature. So all in all, normally, because there's no commercials, obviously, in the all-22 tape, it takes me about, depending on how, like the Detroit game, there wasn't that many plays, for the offense. There were more plays for the defense. I mean, it probably took me an hour and some change to go through it. And when there's longer games, it could take an hour and a half, an hour 45, just depends.
Okay. So what you're telling me is, you have no idea what the hell's going on with Jayden Reed and why you would not have your leading receiver getting the ball more. Because Matt LaFleur basically admitted on Monday that they're not doing a good enough job of getting him involved. That's on him.
So what we asked Rob on Monday is that, what's going on with it. And kind of what he told us, which makes sense if you're looking at them personnel-wise and what they're doing. They're getting to a bunch of 12 personnel, which is one back, two tight ends, right? And they're doing that, obviously, because they're very Jacobs heavy, which makes sense. They're running the football, right? You got two tight ends in, whether you're motioning one in the backfield, creating a one tight end on the line, one in the backfield. You're creating different looks from that 12 personnel. But you got two wideouts on the field, right? And LaFleur, most likely, how he's doing this is he's finding the guys that he thinks are the best blocking type wide receivers as well. And that's, I guess, how he's fitting in who he's got on the field right now. And
why Wicks is playing more.
Yes, so and that's where he's fitting them in, and that's where the reps are going supposedly. So whether or not Reed starts to get more reps in 12 personnel, we'll see, right? Like that's all. That's the question that we'll see if that gets answered. Now, whether they're not in 12 personnel and they're in 11 or whatever it may be, is he getting open? What are the routes he's running? I'd have to go back and start looking at that over the last 2 weeks and see, or 3 weeks really, and see what the deal is. Because that's not something I've been paying attention to as much since now that it's being brought up now, right? Like now that it's become an issue.
So I think it was, and then we'll take a break and move on. But I think it was a fair, because I asked LaFleur about it on Monday, and LaFleur basically said that the Lions stayed in base even when they went three wides, when they went 11 personnel, and he wanted to run the ball when he realized that he still had Josh Jacobs on the team after the first couple series, and so they did go more 12 personnel. So that's how Jayden Reed ends up playing only 25 of the 50 snaps on offense, right? So that's obviously a problem. But it's not like that's been the case. He has played 63% of the snaps on the season, and more importantly, you look at what he's been able to do. He's still leading the team in receiving yards and receptions, despite having 8 catches over the last 4 games. So obviously he had been a priority and playing greater snaps earlier. So this is one of the many things.
Jason, I just wonder. I understand what both of you guys are saying, but if you're a true number one, do you have a 4 or 5 game stretch like that? If you have a really good quarterback, I don't know of any. And I'm not saying he isn't, but obviously that is a concern. And then do you start wondering, Christian Watson's emerging. This is with Dobbs not even being in the mix for a couple of these games. Mm-hmm. So the question is, the Packers still viewing him as that number one, or do they still love this ensemble cast, even though Jayden Reed, I think, if you'd asked me 4 weeks ago, I'd say no doubt. But you don't see number one wideouts unless there's an injury. You don't see production drop off that much. You just don't.
So I would just answer your question. I think one of the things Matt LaFleur admitted, and I guess, Brian, you can speak to this much better than I can. I think what Matt LaFleur admitted was we got to play him at wideout more instead of inside. And if you remember when you were playing with Cobb, yes, Cobb was a short wide receiver, right? He was 5'9", 5'10". He still could get open as an outside receiver. There were plenty of times where he lined up opposite of Jordy Nelson and somebody else was in the slot, or you guys just went 2 wide receivers. So I think that was one of Matt LaFleur's admissions to us on Monday, is that I'm not giving him enough opportunities outside. So maybe that changes this week too. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, predominantly, I think that'd be an interesting breakdown to see his slot reps versus, I guess, perimeter reps. I guess that'd be an interesting thing to see. We also have to remember he takes a lot of slot reps because he does a bunch of motioning into the backfield, right? And he gets a lot of jet motions. He does a lot of things where he motions into the backfield and goes out the other side. And there's a lot of they do a lot of different things with him, right, that they don't do with other guys. So a lot of the offense, at least it has been, has been very built around. I mean, I get it's a Jacobs and Jordan Love built offense, right? Like, I understand that, but he's been a very big part of it with how they use him and how they move him around. So it'll be interesting to see now that this has become such an issue over the last 4 weeks, right? 8 catches in 4 weeks. It's not like an accident, right? Like something, it's not like a, mistake. It'll be interesting to see how they approach this week because, as we start to get to this point in the season, right, these become now, I always look at December as must-win football games, right? So when you have must-win football games, who do you get the ball to in must-win football games? You get it to the guys that are the big-time players, right? You put it in the hands of the guys that you trust the most. So, we'll see how Reed's deployed with Watson and if Dobbs is back, so it'll be interesting to see. I hope they can do it because I think we have a bunch of talent. It's just, can they all get on the field at once and get the reps that they're all looking for? I don't know. That's the tough part about it.
We got plenty of snaps still with Brian Bulaga. More with him next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. After every single green and gold game,
you can say it doesn't matter, but that's not being fair.
There's only one place to go for instant reaction.
Once, since they won the Super Bowl in 2010, one season, have they done better than 10th in points given up.
And to give yours on the Boda Box Wine Line. Tune into Green Bay Game Night with Homer after every green and gold game. Right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
College hockey returns to Fiserv Forum with the 4th annual Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off, December 28th and 29th.
The Wisconsin Badgers return to defend their title, facing the Ferris State Bulldogs in semifinal action on day 1. The Yukon Huskies and Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks will battle for the other spot in the championship game.
Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Secure your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, if you need a bath or shower remodel this holiday season, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
It's the holiday season, my favorite time of year. Festive decorations, family gatherings, using our gift boxes. Honestly, I'm happier to see a Using Our Gift Box at my door than Santa. The Using Our Gift Box doesn't require cooking, just eating. And who's not up for that during the holidays? Make someone's day by sending them the tastiest gift in town, a box filled with Using Our's delicious sausage, cheese, and assorted goodies. Order yours today. It's easy. Just go to usingar.com and click on gifts.
Discount Liquor. Did you know that George Washington served his own homemade version of eggnog made with rum, rye whiskey, and sherry? Well, a lot's changed since the days of our first president, but one constant has been celebrating the holiday season and upcoming new year with family, friends, and loved ones. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. 'Tis the season to check out Discount Liquor's tremendous selection of over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines from around the world. And yes, we do carry 8 varieties of ready-to-drink eggnog. Celebrate this most festive time with a great selection of beautifully packaged liquor gift sets, sure to make you the hit of the party or as a perfect gift for the liquor connoisseur on your shopping list. Discount Liquor, 2 locations in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
It's WTMJ's Brandon Stein for Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. The holiday season is here, and Wisconsin Harley-Davidson has you covered. Now through December 28th, when you purchase any new Harley-Davidson motorcycle, you'll receive a shopping spree. See sales associate for details, only valid on new bike purchases. December is full of shopping treats. Follow Wisconsin Harley-Davidson's Facebook page and Instagram for more details, and be sure to check out WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
You might not know I'm here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous.
As we roll on with Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch.
All right, Blue, we have not talked O-line. I know you like watching the front seven. I like watching that. We watched it in that first half, and we were kind of dumbfounded. And actually, David Bakhtiari was giving some critique of Zach Tom, who struggled a little bit. What did you see when you looked back at that film of why Green Bay's offense, for really most of that first half, struggled as much as it did against a lot of guys that weren't playing for this Detroit defense when the season started?
Yeah, it was probably the one thing about the game that surprised me the most, because I think it was probably Green Bay's, from an offensive line standpoint, and from what I think was probably their worst game played up to this point in the season. From a pass blocking standpoint, right? I think they've been really solid pass blocking all season. Like, I think, I don't know what their grade is from the ESPN standpoint or the PFF standpoint. Like, I don't really care about that. It's really from just watching them and seeing the time Jordan Love's had and what they've been able to do. And I mean, I don't like to, especially when tackles are really good, call out a bunch of things, but Zach Tom's first play, I mean, we all saw it, gave up a sack on the first play of the game. Very unlike him to do something. I mean, on the first play of the game, it's very not like him, right? And we kind of saw that happening throughout the game, not just sacks, but a lot of pressures, a lot of things that were uncharacteristic of that group. And the one thing I noticed from the tackles specifically, they played with very high pad level, which wasn't something that I was used to seeing those guys do. Tom in particular, he normally plays with a very good pad level and base, and Bach brought something up in that players only thing. He played with Tom, obviously, so he was there early on when he saw Zach Tom developing, and what he said was Zach Tom struggles with power. And as I've always said, every tackle has something that they struggle with, no matter what. It doesn't matter who you are, you have a weakness, right? And that's for the best tackles and the up and down Hall of Famers, and no matter what. It's how you're able to cover those up and make them into not a strength, but something you can manage throughout a game that doesn't expose you, right? And Zach Tom's able to do that really well, because he normally plays with very good leverage, and he gets his hands on guys really quick so that they can't get into his body. He's able to anchor down as fast as he can and push guys up the field where his feet kind of take over. Well, when you play with a higher pad level and you're not the best at taking on power, and you're going against a power rusher in Za'Darius, and he catches you on your inside shoulder after 2 steps, it's not going to go well. And that was kind of the theme of what was happening to our tackles throughout the game. And that was what I was seeing was like a very specific plan that Detroit's DNs were doing, because it was like a 1, 2, 3 step bull rush inside shoulder of our tackles. They did not want Jordan Love getting outside of the pocket, right? They were trying to collapse that thing and keep him inside the pocket so Jordan Love couldn't get out and extend plays and do what he does really, really well. And that's break the pocket like we all used to see Aaron do and make things happen down the field. And that was by design. And tackles have to adjust to that on the fly. They have to start feeling that early on, like, hey, they are trying to bull and pin in our quarterback. I have to start setting anchor a lot quicker and kind of start to, widen this pocket out. And it wasn't bad the entire game, right? Like, I'm not saying that, but there were moments in there that it just wasn't like it wasn't up to their standard. And then it was a lot of the same on the interior as well. And that was why, like, I just looked at it from a whole. It was probably that group's worst showing from a pass blocking standpoint. And they're going to have to be better this week. I mean, they're going to have to be better this week. Like, and there's no doubt in my mind that Butkus and Steno, I mean, they were probably in that O-line room watching that, and they've been harping on that, because you said it, Tausch. Like, when you go up against a group, I get it. Like, you're in Detroit and they're a good team, but like when you go up against a group that's majority, like backups and maybe even and third string guys, and that happens. That's not what you're looking for. And I'm not sure, and I can't imagine it was the case that maybe the guys, they were a little at ease, right? They were thinking, oh, well, they're missing this guy and they're missing this guy, and not that they took their,
Blue,
their
did
foot
you?
off the gas,
That's an interesting question. Did you look at it that way? Because listen, man, you go on the road, and I'm not going to bring up Leonard Little in the Dome up in St. Louis. Guy was grease lightning and strong as a bull. Like, I'm going to sleep better if I'm playing against some big, stocky, physical DN that's interested in stopping the run than I'm going to when I'm going to St. Louis and I got to go against somebody that's really good. Like, how did you approach that? There's no doubt you don't let down, but maybe your focus isn't as high, because I always felt like on the road, when we go to the Metrodome, man, I would be just physically and mentally exhausted. I can remember Cliffy on the back of a bus. We ran scat protection like 48 times. And Cliffy, he's pretty laissez-faire. He was pissed because it was, that's where I guess the question is, it takes more energy mentally when you're on the road. And I wonder how much of that, but that was early in the game. How did you approach it when maybe somebody, if Bosa wasn't playing and they had some guy that you felt like you loved that matchup, how did it where you didn't let that kind of mentality slip a little bit when you maybe had somebody that wasn't as good?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky line to walk, because, obviously you're I don't like the word relieved. You're not upset that marquee guy isn't there, right? Like, you're not upset about it. But at the same time, I always looked at it as there would be nothing more than that backup DN, what he would like to do, than embarrass you and show you up on national television. Because you knew, the way I always looked at it was, I'm on the Green Bay Packers. I'm blocking for Aaron Rodgers. There's nothing more that would make this backup DN's day than to sack Aaron Rodgers and embarrass me. So, like, I always looked at it as, he's not going to ruin my day, because I know if I go back into my O-line room and I gave up a sack to a backup DN and I got worked all day by him, I'm going to get, like, razzed in our room. And, like, it's going to look bad on me when I go in the offensive room, right? And we're watching the negative highlights, and there's me getting beat by a guy that has taken 10 snaps all year. So, like,
Antoine Odom, are you kidding me? This guy just made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, like something like that. Like, so, like, that was my mentality with it. So it was just like, and listen, I'm not saying those guys did that. Like, I'm definitely not saying that. But, like, it just seemed that from a whole, like, the front five, they just seem like, I don't know if they didn't have enough, like, solid tape on these guys. Like, they were, like, they didn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it was, but it just seemed like some of these guys, like, they caught them off guard with some things, right? And it just, I don't know, man. Like, but all I know is that they definitely, going to Seattle, they got to be better. They got to be better, and I think they will. I think they're going to learn a lot from it. I think they will, because I think they're a prideful group, so I think they're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Was that
and
what
that
was
crowd noise? There's no place. Go ahead, Jace.
Was that what was said in the offensive line meeting room after the September 2009 game in which Antoine Odom had 5 sacks against you guys in a game?
I was not there. They had brought me back, I think, a week later.
Yeah.
But I had heard the stories. Everybody's got these memorable tackles, block ends. We heard that many times. There's always these quotes that ring true, and especially with City Bob, always sitting there, and he'll bring up something. If somebody gets beat, he'd be like, Antoine Blanket Odom. Like, Antoine Odom is always going to be remembered in that O-line room. Doesn't matter how many years, because the story passes down like a fishing story, right?
Yep. I heard the story. My first time in the O-line room, I think I got told the story. Like, literally, I think we were watching cut-ups my first spring there. I think it was the Bengals game. And it was some people were saying it. And I'm turning around like, yeah, he got 5 sacks against us in 2009. I'm like, oh. I was like, turned around. I'm like, 5 sacks in a game? Like, that's a real thing in the NFL? I'm like, who is this guy? And they're like, I don't even know if he's in the league. Like, they're like, I'm like, really?
Yeah, he made a
like 5 sacks.
He made a Pro Bowl that one day, is what I think was the moral of that story.
All right, Brian, before we let you go, I do have to ask you this, and I told Tausch I would. So, obviously, Brett Favre has been back in the news for the hand-delivered sack to Michael Strahan to break Mark Gastineau's record. The 30 for 30 is coming out. Brett Favre apparently confronted by him last year, then taking to Twitter to lie about what happened on the play. I'm curious, what's the angriest you ever got at your quarterback? Because
great question.
Because I was there that day at the Meadowlands, and Tausch was pissed because that offensive line came into the game saying, this blankety blank is not getting the NFL record against us. We are not going to allow it. And then their quarterback, being a bad teammate, nice guy to the opponent, but a bad teammate to his offensive lineman, gift-wrapped the record-breaking sack for Michael Strahan. And Tausch was none too pleased, nor were his line mates. What's the angriest you ever got at your quarterback?
Oh, great question.
Yeah, there was a playoff game at home. It was the famous Giants boat game. When the Giants came to Green Bay, and the first quarter, like, we were we get into the first quarter and we're blocking the Giants D line, and like, we're locking them up. Like, we feel really good. Like, but Aaron just continued to get sacked. Like, for no reason, like, just continued to get sacked and sacked. Like, we had 3 drives end in sacks for absolutely no reason. And on the third sack, he tried to, I'm literally just, I have my guy 2 hands hemmed up. Like, and he tries to run through the B gap. My guy just, outstretches his arm, grabs him, and sacks him. And I turn around and look at him. I'm literally like, where are you going? I'm like, and he just kind of like gets up, and we go to the sideline. And I remember TJ, he's like losing his mind. Like, TJ's because it's like, I think the Giants were winning like 7-0 at that point, right? And like, we felt like we were playing good up front. TJ's losing his mind. I think TJ went down the sideline and went over and like talked to Aaron. Don't really know what he said. I don't know, but like all of a sudden, like second quarter comes around and Aaron flips the switch, and I think we blew him out. That was, the Hail Mary at the end of the second quarter to Cobb in the back of the end zone. I think we beat him like 34-14 or something, and it was like, what just happened there? It was the one time like I never minded Aaron holding the ball and he takes it, okay, like whatever, but like it happened like 3 series in a row, and I was like, come on, man, like if it was against good DNs and he would get sacked, you'd be like, oh, okay, but like when it's like guys that should not be getting sacks or getting sacks, you're like, because you can come off on the sideline and Campy's like, and you look at Campy and he's like, not on you, and you're like, well, guess what? Everyone thinks it's on me. Everyone's saying it's on me. I can assure you that. And it's like, but that's the life of an offensive lineman. That's the way
I know
it goes.
Jason definitely was. He thought you played like crap that
game. Wrong game. Brian, your memory is great. You started the show. You were right. You lost in 18 in Seattle last time the Packers played there. The playoff game against the Giants, you won 38-13. You were down 6-0 early.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers was sacked 5 times in that game, 4 times in the first half.
Wow.
Only once in the second half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. It was absolutely insane. I'm just.
Hey, Blue, how did Aaron respond? Because Aaron was a young player when I was blocking for him. How did he respond? Did he tell TJ to blank off, or is he like, yeah, you're right?
I think he like, because I remember I looked down and I think Aaron might. I don't know what exactly he said, but he came down because we stopped him and he came down and we were going that way and the flip of the. And he came over and he looked at and he just was like, I got it. Like he looked at, he's like, I got it. And we were like, okay. That's all he says, like, I got it. And we're like, all right.
It's as close as
he got the message. Like, I got it. Like, all right.
It's as close as you're getting to an I'm sorry from that guy. Brian,
we didn't. You never need a nice. We never needed an I'm sorry. Never wanted that. But just like simple. Like, I got it, guys. Like, okay, sounds good.
And he did. And he did have it.
Yeah,
indeed.
And he did get it. He definitely got it. There's no doubt.
Brian, you're the best, man. This was so much fun. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Take care.
That is Brian Bulaga with, man, that's a good story. That's really good stuff.
Pretty good recall.
His recall, right? His recall was on point, just like Coors Light is on point when the mountains are blue and you know that it's chilled to perfection.
Indeed, Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's made to chill. I bet Blue, after he and TJ and the crew yelled at Old Boy and they won that game, I bet that'd be a good time to crack one of those Coors Lights and make sure the mountains are blue. That's when you know the cold-activated bottles and cans are chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
A new league record of 10:18, the end of the 9 o'clock hour. The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Rick, describe some of our wow Christmas gifts while Sarah and I name the prices and add a little commentary.
Okay. A 1.5 carat total weight diamond bolo bracelet.
Amazingly unique. Just $1,598.
Half carat total weight inside outside diamond hoop earrings.
Just $698.
1 carat total weight is just $898.
A fabulous 3 carat oval created diamond.
But we only have a few of these.
Just $3,998.
A 1 carat total weight created diamond tennis bracelet.
Just $898.
We also have the big 1 carat total weight natural diamond tennis bracelet for just $1,798.
And from now until Christmas, we have 18 months same as cash financing.
With approved credit.
And a delightful gift for you with every purchase of at least $300.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
It's the year-end rate reduction sales event at Wilde Automotive Group. Get rates as low as 4.9% on our best used cars and make no payments for 90 days. 4.9% and no payments till March 2025 on over 600 vehicles at 10 Wilde Automotive Group locations. Don't wait. Get a better rate during the year-end rate reduction sales event. Get to your nearest Wilde location today.
Go to ewaldeauto.com.
With approved credit, interest accrues from date of purchase. Expires month end.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, thanks to Brian Bulaga. We got to play a little bit of catch-up when we spend that much time with Brian, but it is always, always, always worth it. So let's do this briefly. Tausch, we have the final results of yesterday's poll, and even without the blue check mark, this poll still received 1,507 votes.
Wow.
I don't get the numbers that I used to. Despite your generous offer, I'm going to keep fighting the good fight. But this poll got a lot of votes. Today's Wilde and Tausch, or yesterday's, correctly dated now, from the mind of Mark Tauscher. If the Packers are not going to be the NFC's representative in Super Bowl 59, which of these teams would you prefer to see win the NFC? You have not looked at the results. You know what they were trending at. Yesterday.
I feel like the West champion is who was leading late when we finished
the potato corridor. Potatoes are voting. Potatoes are voting. Did indeed lead the NFC West champs, which was the answer that to me made the most sense, even with the history with Seattle or San Francisco. 35.2%.
Depends what era of Packer fan.
Yeah.
I think younger Packer fans would vote the West, and I think some of us older folks that have been around Philly, we probably would go the other way, but I get it.
Yeah. Second were the Detroit Lions, so there is still 33 points. So 1 in every 3 people who voted, despite them being a little bit douchey, would still be rooting for them.
And it irritates a lot of folks on X. There's a lot of folks that are saying, how can this many Packer fans feel that way?
Well,
and that's why I thought this was an intriguing question, because I sensed that was the case. And I wonder if we end up meeting in an NFC championship or divisional and Detroit beats us again. I think that poll is going to, because we're getting fed up. We're getting sick of getting beat by these guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it takes a lot because we have such a good bank of, boy, they stink. They haven't beaten us at Lambeau in 35 years, and all the stuff that I can remember, all of it while I was playing, that was the conversation. Oh, they're 0-16. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Well, at least for now, those days are over, and I think it might take another one before that 33 goes down. We're never going to get to, unless it's a 10-year run, the Minnesota Vikings and Bears hatred. I think there's just too much other stuff built up for a vast majority of our fans. But younger fans, they're looking at this and saying Detroit is our rival right now because of how they're playing.
The Philadelphia Eagles then were third at 28.3%, and the Minnesota Vikings bringing up the rear at 2.9% of the votes. So
Still shocked
what I don't, and I know you are
9%.
It was an outstanding question, and we got calls. It was great. the one part that I'm fascinated by is that the Lions are the team that's really sticking it to the Packers right now, and yet they got 31% more people voting for them than the Vikings. And is that I'm a little surprised, because that tells you that at least some Packers fans either really like Dan Campbell or really like the storyline, like I would, of, hey, the Detroit Lions getting to their first Super Bowl ever in team history, which seems kind of cutesy and all, but when you got Kirby Joseph trying to take out people's knees, I'm a little surprised the Packers fans are as supportive of them as they are.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys on this subject.
ahead.
Do you guys feel it's similar? I know it may not be quite apples to apples, but it's similar to the Chicago Cubs winning the World Series in 2016, the whole lovable losers thing. Because I know my dad was a diehard Brewers fan his entire life, didn't like the Cubs, but he was very happy to see the Chicago Cubs, because he knows a lot of Cubs fans. He has family that are Cubs fans, finally get that World Series. So
let me ask you this follow-up then, Riley,
Yes.
because this is what we discussed with old T, who was just like your dad in 2016. Oh, it's
How old
cute.
is your dad? Could I be Riley's dad? How old is your dad?
My dad is 50 years old. He turned 50 in March.
It's crazy. Happy birthday, Mr. Youngster.
Who is 2 years younger than me.
Look out.
Hell! Did he regret that subsequently? Because Tausch, as he later learned as Cubs fans became increasingly insufferable, he then regretted rooting for them to win the World Series and end the drought.
No, he did not, but that's also because some of his older family members who went their entire lives without seeing a Cubs World Series got to see that, and he was just happy for them.
And then they died.
So, yeah, exactly. So, anyways, he does not regret it, but obviously he has a little stronger ties than maybe the common Brewers fan did to the Cubs.
All right, we need to get caught up on the clock, so I want to tell you the time is running out. This is your last chance to enter the ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringle Jingle for Your Kringle contest here on Wilde and Tausch. All you have to do is submit your own original jingle to celebrate the holidays and Racine Danish Kringle. Submit it to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will win Kringle for a year. Only requirement is within your jingle, you have to include Racine Danish Kringle. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition. If you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with Racine Danish Kringle, all you got to do is call 800-4DANISH or go to kringle.com and check out all their great flavors, including the all-new Eggnog Holiday Kringle. That's ESPNWisconsinContest.com to enter. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Even when you think you know what's going on,
well, all men hate cold water because of shrinkage.
You can never be too sure.
I like how you dropped
Is that
your
what it is?
pencil, like you were just...
Thought we were going to get
I'm right.
You're not wrong.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
I did not expect to wrap up today's little episode with the word shrinkage. So,
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Oh, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. There's no wrapping needed, and this season you can try their newest holiday pastry, Eggnog Kringle, created to bring festive cheer to your celebration. Filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon, it's perfect for sharing with loved ones. Go to Kringle.com to order or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, it's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Last week's disappointing loss to the Lions in Detroit left a sour taste in the mouth of the Packers and their fans. But after 3 days off, Jordan Love and the Green and Gold ready to get back to work as they take on the Seahawks in a huge game on Sunday night.
We're trying to finish on the right note and win out these last couple games and, handle business, take one game at a time, and obviously we'll see what happens postseason time.
Kickoff happens Sunday night in Seattle at 7:20. Catch pregame coverage right here on 94.5 ESPN with Green Bay Game Day starting at 4 o'clock.
This has been your Green and Gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply.
All right, I want to get to Homer coming up next, and I want to ask him this question as well. So, Tausch, you gave me some grief, and rightfully so, because I think they went on a 4-game winning streak after I said it. But then you watched them, and you said the same thing. Yeah, you were right. They stink. About the Arizona Cardinals. I feel like there was a time this year where I and others felt that way about the Seattle Seahawks, who had lost 4 in a row themselves. So after the conversation with Blue and the fact that this is a tough place to play, we know that, and it's going to be loud and everything else, and on top of that, the fact that the Seahawks have now won 4 games in a row, is this a game that is giving you any nervousness at all, or not particularly? You feel like the Packers go in there and win. They're, I think, 3.5-point favorites at last check on the road in Seattle.
Yeah, I think they should win. I'm not going to be surprised if they don't, just because I do think that playing in that environment and where we're at, this to me is going to be more of a game about where we're at defensively, because Seattle's got a good running game. Geno's Geno. They got some wideouts. I'll be nervous if we give up 30-plus again, because this isn't Detroit, man. Mm-hmm. This is Seattle. And I think offensively, I feel good about this team. I think we will find our stride. I think Jordan being healthy with a healthy Josh Jacobs in this O-line and Kraft, and, we'll figure out the Reed piece, and Dobbs will be back. I think offensively we can roll with anybody. I do wonder if people haven't kind of figured out what we do defensively, and it doesn't feel like there, especially in these second halves of games, it doesn't feel like there's a ton of resistance from really good offenses. I want to find out if this defense can make some plays. Geno Smith turns the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we saw in the beginning of the year that we haven't really seen consistently. So that's where my concern level is. But if I'm just being honest with you, I emptied my bucket on Thursday too. And the fact that we're not going to be a 1 seed and we're not winning the division, I'm not that concerned. 5, 6, I don't want to be the 7, and I don't think we will be because I think we're going to have at least 2 more wins and probably 3 moving forward, whether it's going to be Seattle or Minnesota. I just don't think now that we didn't get it done in Detroit, we're going to be road warriors this whole way. We're not going to have that opportunity to get into those top, into that 1 or 2 seed or 3 seed, whatever it was going to end up shaking out. So not that the regular season, not like it's college basketball or the NBA where it's, all right, wake me when we get to the playoffs. That's not how I feel, but I'm closer to feeling that way than I did last week because of how that game shook out.
We'll ask Homer that same question. He's scheduled to appear next after Tausch tells us about what American Family Insurance has going on right now.
Packer fans, ready for some game day excitement? Well, next time you're at Lambeau, stop by the American Family Insurance Titletown House and experience the thrill of making a game-saving play with our interactive Protect the End Zone game. Plus, don't miss out on all the amazing giveaways from exclusive Packers merch to special prizes. There's a little something for everybody. Visit us at Titletown to make your game day unforgettable. For more info, check out amfam.com/Packers.
Homer joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack. It is bowl season. Are you ready to make some money? Get our bowl analysis sheet. It's a predicted final score on every single bowl game this year, included in all packages that go at least to the national championship game. Go to FatJackSports.com and for less than $100 a week, build profit betting on sports. Basketball wins again last week. Soccer is having a huge year, and football is going to have a huge bowl season. Go to FatJackSports.com, sign up today, and win heading into 2025 at FatJackSports.com.
Seems like gift season kind of snuck up on us, but Fleet Farm's ready to help. For the griller on your list, the Pit Boss Sportsman 500 pellet grill is now $249.99. For the pizza lover, the Biaggia Pizza Oven is just $79.99. Plus, Milwaukee deal days are happening all week long. So save on the hottest Milwaukee tools, like the N12 2-tool combo kit for just $99. Stop in soon and wrap up your gift list at Fleet Farm, home of the best prices guaranteed.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home to a generator to keep your lights on or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
This is Kevin Van Rossum, president of Three Tree Marketing. Send gifts to appreciate anyone, anywhere, anytime with a gift of your choice by using our gifting solutions technology. Our team handles it all, from concepting, site creation, as well as production of branded products. Elevate your brand's connection to its consumers by creating the ultimate gifting experience with us. Make the art of gifting effortless for yourself. At Three Tree Marketing, we chase partners, not orders. Visit threetreemarketing.com to see what we can do for you.
It's WTMJ's Brandon Snide for Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. The holiday season is here, and Wisconsin Harley-Davidson has you covered. Now through December 28th, when you purchase any new Harley-Davidson motorcycle, you'll receive a shopping spree. See sales associate for details, only valid on new bike purchases. December is full of shopping treats. Follow Wisconsin Harley-Davidson's Facebook page and Instagram for more details, and be sure to check out WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
You know what that music means? Duke Tomato and the All-Star Frogs. Means it's time to talk to the All-Star Uncle Homer. You hear him every weekday on the brief but brilliant 1 hour, the Homer Hour.
Is that down to 15 minutes yet, or is it still an hour?
Well, I don't know, because, whenever I'm on with either John Anderson or Brian Bulaga, John Anderson on Tuesdays, Blue on Thursdays, he just pawns off the interview on them anyway, so he definitely
he doesn't
isn't
even
talking.
Do any work anymore?
He just sort of sits, and then he'll realize that maybe he should contribute somehow, so then he chimes in, which I want him to chime in. You can also hear him.
Guy.
Big chimer, yeah. You also hear him on the Marquette Men's Basketball Radio Network, and he called the Golden Eagles win over the Badgers. But we won't talk about that because he doesn't think we should talk about Marquette basketball when he's on. And, of course, you can also hear him and Tom Pippins talking about the love of the Lord on God Talk, My Faith with Homer and Pip. It is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I'm great, because I think this could possibly be the most historic appearance ever on your show. This one could last forever because of the greatness of Tauscher's idea, which I believe, except that they haven't done it yet. We're talking about the incredibly joke of a tournament the NBA has right now that no one cares about, but they're all forced to lie that they care, because otherwise they'll get beaten up, and they have not been able to figure out what to do. For people who don't understand, if you win the tournament now, it's kind of like when you go to an event and you win the flowers in the middle of your table. It's something that's so insignificant, but people they still do it, and then they put a number under your chair. Half the people don't even look because they don't really want it. But the people think they're being nice by giving you the floral or the floral arrangement. That is what the NBA has done. And Tausch came up with the answer as to what should be done. You get a draft choice. Now, here's the key.
Yeah.
All we have to do is decide the draft choice. It has to be a first-round pick, but it can't be a part of the lottery. So you add an extra pick. After the lottery pick, the next selection goes to the team that won the formerly floral arrangement tournament. And it is brilliant, because teams would be willing to work at winning that tournament for that. What would that be? The 15th,
like the 15th-ish pick?
15th, 16th pick. Yeah, I said 31, but I like this idea even better. I like the amended version.
The key is This already exists where they have supplemental picks in the baseball draft. But no one cares about the baseball draft. But anyway, so it's already been done where you give teams certain picks. And it should be a Tausch. I don't know. You have to pick the name of it. I take a little credit for picking the number, but that's nothing compared to the idea. Teams would want to win, especially if you're a good team. Why? Because you don't get to pick that early. Oh, baby, this is good. I think I might just hang up. There's nothing that can be as good. Now, this is generally not bigger than
Wait a
the
minute.
Packers,
Wait a minute. You went from saying this was going to be the most historic and you could talk forever to then saying it's such a good idea you're going to hang up now?
Well, because there's nothing more to be said. It's Tauscher's idea. He gets to do it. And nothing else said is going to be appreciated as much as people going, wow, Tausch nailed it. Try to come up with a topic that's as good as an historic change. And realize how great this is. Because, again, you're turning the floral arrangement into like $1,000. Say that at that event they had something where they gave $1,000 away. Everybody would stick around. We've turned a floral arrangement into $1,000. Tausch, I'm honored to know you.
I totally agree with praise for Tausch. I would like to give you the credit both for a great analogy. The floral arrangement analogy is a really good analogy. And putting it at the end after the lottery picks have been made, I like that too.
Yep.
So you guys have worked together to fix the tournament.
You just spurred me on to tweet that. That's how excited I am now.
That doesn't happen very often.
So here's the deal. I don't get a ton of positive reaffirmment on this show, and you just did. And I could not be happier about that. So thank you, Homer, for doing that for me.
Well, I'm happy for you, but I can't disagree. In general, you may not be deserving of it. I'm not going to be well, they're mean to you, because they're not mean to you. But here's what you do. This is what everybody likes. You have the willingness to throw something out, and I think in some cases, it sucks. But you're just curious. So, you throw that out, and so the beef, or if you have any beef that they're mean to you, that's crap. They're not mean to you.
We praise them all. We tell how great he is.
I wouldn't go that far, but they're definitely not mean. I mean, you don't praise him all the time.
That's true.
He's very hard on me.
Yes,
he's sometimes very mean to me.
Very critical.
Little bit, but you bring some of it on. So anyway, but it's all this is just.
I agree.
This is just we're fiddling and diddling, as Johnny Moe said, because the greatness is already done. But I'll stick on because Jason will find something wrong if I leave or whatever.
Yeah, I will.
You find something wrong.
I will. Yeah, that's what I do.
You have that ability. I'd love to have discussions with your daughters at a little later age, just in private.
Okay.
To see if my analogy is right. I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it's not.
You're very positive, but you always have the ability to find something wrong. Like you're beating up on Brett Favre. Well, why?
Why not?
Because, look, we all know this is all about Gastineau has issues. Okay? So just let him he's happier to be mad than anything else. So just let him, oh, yeah, you're right, Mark. You probably should have it. Okay, whatever. I don't know. The dude's got, I guess Favre has issues, too. Who's got more issues? That's a great question. I think Gastineau has more issues than Favre. But that's
you should pull that on your show.
Sounds like a great poll question. Discount Liquor, thrilled to be part of it.
Yeah, not as good as changing the NBA. The hope is that I can't see how they haven't seen this yet.
I hope I get this. I put this to get it to Ernie and to Kenny and to the boys. I'm hoping they run with this.
Chuck.
Because for as much as I love I don't love the NBA. I love NBA playoff basketball. I like the Milwaukee Bucks, obviously. I don't know if I got the clout. The other idea, I still think my other idea is even better, which is, ironically, everybody's complaining about Oregon getting a bad draw in the college football playoff. There should be, after the games finish, I think they play next weekend. After the games finish, they should do just like they do with a selection show. They should have Dan Lanning get up there and say, all right, these are the 4 teams you get to pick from. We're taking so-and-so. They're coming to Oregon next week. All right, well, then the number 2 seed. Well, we're taking Texas. They're coming. It would do monster numbers and all that, and I eventually think Kirk Herbstreit and the boys will get that figured out and plow that through, too.
All right, here's the problem. They don't want to be first. You've got to find a league, and you've got to find somewhere where they do this and they realize that it's not as big an issue of, creating all this bad blood or things like that, that it's just kind of part of the whole tournament process. You got to find some minor league in baseball or maybe lacrosse or field hockey, some league that does this, and when they see that it works, then they'll pop you, just like they did on the kickoff. So it should be done because it adds and recognizes the entertainment value. But you can't. There's no way anybody's going to be first. So
all right, Homer. I will, but it's somebody big. It has to be from the big leagues. I think all that other stuff, and we'll keep working at that. I think they're going to figure it out. Yeah, no. They're not going to give automatic buys to the winners. It's going to be more SEC, Big Ten dominated down the road.
The minor football. No. As far as the college football, they're just going to change it. If you win, it gets you in, but does not give you a buy.
Yeah, exactly. Boise State would be like a 10 seed
next year. But
so I agree with that.
What you're suggesting is even bigger because it would be a part
fun,
of the whole sport.
Entertaining. It'd be perfect.
I would get people mad, people people
Yep.
They
get all irritated. I don't know if I can say the P word, so I'm going to say irritated.
25 years later, they'd be saying, "Yeah, but you wouldn't go against us in the '79 World Series." They're going, yes, it would live forever, which of course creates even more juice. Yeah.
The lower league of MLS.
My favorite Homer. Homer has been great today.
Yeah, but he's wrong about he's had a very good segment. 2 corrections.
Not one day when you say that. I mean, come on.
Well, today's that day, my friend.
Today
is that day. That's like you telling a girl she's the prettiest one in the world, and she goes, I kind of like you today. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. All right. Yeah.
2 things. One,
the analogy that I was looking for.
You were doing pretty well up until that point. You should have hung up. Upon further review, you should have hung up when you considered it. 2 things.
Nice.
One.
Bye.
No, don't do that.
I think he just hung up.
I think he did.
He just hung up.
Okay.
Well, you asked for it. I wanted to get his take because the Badgers lose. I didn't see any of it because it's on Peacock. But they got beat again, and I wanted to get him because Twitter this morning is very low on our big boys. And we must have been dominated in the paint. Again, I didn't watch because I was not I don't have Peacock, but not great, Bob. 3 in a row, and we were all excited about this. It's becoming a trend. We are great in those holiday tournaments, man. I'm telling you, we are great. Then we have lulls. We celebrate those championships. Maybe we have a championship hangover in December.
Could be. First of all, a league of some prominence, not one of the big 4, but of some prominence, has done the choose-your-own playoff opponent. The MLS Next League, which is the lower level of MLS, did it last year.
That's soccer, right?
That is soccer, yes. Okay. And Sporting Kansas City 2, so their minor league affiliate, made the choice to select the best team, the second best team in the league, as their first playoff opponent, with the head coach saying, and I quote, "Scared money don't make money." That team was Austin FC, which then went on to win and knock them out of the playoffs.
The beauty of it.
So it's getting closer because that's at least a minor affiliate of a significant league. Also, we can agree that I'm not being mean to Brett Favre. Like, he deserves to be called out for his revisionist history. Right?
Yeah, you do you, man. Love it.
Okay. All right.
Love when you're shooting from your hip.
Not as much as you love, and not as much as I love, after Paula at Johnson & Sons Paving is tracking down Sydney's adult small orange hoodie, the friends of ours at Johnson & Sons Paving.
And it's cold out, but spring's going to be here before you know it. And Johnson & Sons Paving wants to make sure no pavement hazards get worse over the winter. Potholes and cracked curbs and drainage issues, well, if those things are bad now, they're only going to get worse. Call Johnson & Sons Paving. Get it fixed. Schedule a free, no-obligation quote. Get a walkthrough of your pavement. They'll be able to see signs of asphalt pavement work that is needed by spotting that fatigue, cracking, and standing water, and warping and buckling and sinking pavement. All of it. Don't scare away your customers or tenants with bad curb appeal. Book now. Save money later. JohnsonSonsPaving.com.
I don't know why he hung up, by the way.
Because you asked him to.
I didn't.
And he's got an ego.
He does.
Well, you did.
That he does.
And you reminded him that he said he was going to hang up. And I think at some point he's like, all right, they keep asking, I'm going to do it. And that's how this whole dance went, which is all right.
That's quite the dance.
Gets us back on the clock.
It does, and we'll take advantage of that by then blowing through the start of the 11 o'clock hour. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Uncle Homer on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Potholes are a pain when they pop up in your asphalt. Johnson & Sons Paving can patch or replace the whole lot. Book an appointment now at johnsonsonspaving.com. It's a potential playoff preview on Sunday night in Seattle.
Going to Seattle is always a chore. I mean, that is a tough place to play. I think they got a lot of talented players.
A primetime Green Bay game day happens Sunday ahead of the Green and Gold taking on the Seahawks. Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Join Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, ESPN legend John Anderson, and future Green and Gold Hall of Famer Brian Bulaga. Sunday starting at 4 p.m. right here on 94.5 ESPN and at ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Oh, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting their first ever tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a two-man scramble at Whistling Straits, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through December 31st. Your winter chance to play Whistling Straits awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
If you win a Super Bowl, that's because your team is really, really talented and you continue to ascend while other teams plateaued. The question is, have we seen the best version of the Philadelphia Eagles this season? And I don't think it's off the board that might be the case, especially with the drama that's coming out right now. And here's the thing, we're not the ones that are airing the dirty laundry. It's the players in the locker room that are doing that.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham, as respected of a leader and a team captain as there is in the NFL, came out and said, we can't let the personal get in the way of business. When they asked A.J. Brown what's going wrong with the team, he said, yeah, we got to work on passing. What do you got to do to improve? Yeah, we got to work on passing. Pointing the finger at Jalen Hurts. Like, that's not what you do if that's your guy and you got his back.
After a win.
But clearly that's not the case. Don't frame this up like we're the ones that are trying to create a problem. We're not creating a problem. We're just talking about the issues that they already told us they had.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and that means limited time savings on the paint pros need. Right now, save $15 on 5-gallon pails of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Plus, get it delivered to your job site with free same-day delivery when you order by 2 p.m. Visit us in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 12/20. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Fire is warm, the angels are singing, and I don't want to miss a
So the law of unintended consequences. You're familiar with that, right?
Maybe.
The law of unintended consequences is the idea that people's actions often have unanticipated effects. These effects can be beneficial, harmful, or neutral, and may or may not be immediately observable. So Tausch decides to ask Grok about the Packers, about Wilde and Tausch.
Yep.
I don't think his intended consequence was for our friend Brandon in Tulsa, in turn, to ask Grok if Mark Tauscher is a homer.
Oh, boy.
But that's what Brandon did. Brandon, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Brando.
Hey, good morning, guys. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you had a good holiday. Just staying busy. Peak season for the railroad, so we got a bunch of freight to move. And Tausch, real quick, those drones in New Jersey you were talking about. Did you know that they once had an idea, and it might still be something that Amazon's thinking about? They want drones following my train, taking the contents out of the shipping container as I go down the rail through towns and delivering them to people's homes from there. What do you think about that?
Wow. Is that what's happening?
No, that's an idea they had. It's just, these drone deliveries that are getting more and more common. It's something they told us about, and I've been looking for, but I think it's a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, the drone thing is kind of fascinating. But that's not why I called in this morning. I was listening to your show on Monday when you guys were arguing about the Vikings, and people were basically saying, of course, Tausch doesn't think the Vikings are any good because he's biased towards the Packers, and then the word homer got thrown around. And it seems like it won't go away. I think Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, they brought up again who are the biggest, Packer fans working for the network. And you were easily in the top three. I mean, just not even close. So when you brought up the Chat GPT Grok thing, I was really enjoying that part of it. But I said, let's ask Chat GPT if Mark Tauscher's a homer, just to settle this ridiculous debate. Because I don't know why you care. Like, who cares if they call you a homer, right? So,
exactly.
Yep, train was stopped. So I put in, is Mark Tauscher a Green Bay Packers homer? And this is the answer it gave me if you're ready. All right. Yes. Mark Tauscher is often considered a homer when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, meaning he tends to show strong loyalty to the team in his commentary and analysis. As a former Packers player who spent his entire 12-year NFL career with the team, his connection to Green Bay runs deep. After retiring, Tauscher became a prominent figure in Packers media, frequently providing analysis and opinions on local radio and TV networks that cover the team. This background naturally leads some to view his commentary as biased or overly favorable towards the Packers. However, it's worth noting that his deep knowledge of the game and experience as a player lend his analysis a level of expertise, even if his Packers loyalty might sometimes influence his views. Fans of other teams might see his perspective as overly optimistic or slanted, but it is consistent with his personal history and professional ties to the franchise.
Are you sure that's Chat GPT and that's not Wilde GPT?
Hey, you're a homer. Hey, you know what, Tausch? Everyone here knows you know what you're talking about, okay? No one thinks that when you show that green and gold love that you don't know what you're talking about. I would lean into it, man. Like you sweated and bled on that field for this franchise. So
gave a lot of
you're
ligaments.
Picking them to go 17 and 0
a lot of ligaments
year,
out there.
That doesn't take away. But that doesn't take away from you knowing what you're talking about, man. So just lean into it, brother.
Well, Brandon, thanks for the call and thanks for doing that. I have not said that I don't look through the Packers lens. For sure I do. But I am not, I didn't say they'd win a Super Bowl last year. I didn't pick them to win a Super Bowl this year. I said that they have an opportunity to, and they do. So, yes, I think I was very critical of that start last year, of how everything played itself out. But the bottom line is, man, I don't want to even pat myself on the back. I've been right a heck of a lot more than I've been wrong. Those are just the facts. I'm not always right. I'm not. But I've been right a heck of a lot more than a lot of people have been. So for Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and everybody else, Homer, they've been wrong a lot. Gabe has been wrong a lot when it comes to some of his picking of what's going on. So I'm not going to start a fight because I'm not interested in that. I am a little bit of a homer. I'll admit that, but not to the degree of where a lot of people are trying to pigeonhole me, and that's where I push back.
Yeah, so are we all under the interpretation that homer is a negative term? Because I don't think homer necessarily is negative.
It's got a negative connotation.
I think it's a negative.
It does.
I think it's a negative term.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
Also, I may have to revise my position on AI because I've been impressed with that answer right there.
That was my point. Why I brought that up.
I thought that was a very fair robotic critique of you.
Yeah.
I think it highlighted your expertise. I thought it was actually quite good. I have to admit that.
Yeah. AI I don't know if they can ever bring the personality that you need. I don't think you can just spit out robotic things. I think you have to have some emotion and some feel. And I don't know if that is where AI is. Maybe, I'm sure it is, but I don't know that.
I guess my only remaining question about AI, so we can stop, is given some of your rocky selections on Prize Picks, have you considered asking Grok which Prize Picks you should play this week? And would you listen to Grok and make those
picks? That's a great question. I'm going to need to delve into that deeper, but what I don't need to delve into is playing Prize Picks. It's fun. It is the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings, and Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. And it's simple. Pick more or less on at least two players. And you know what? Because it's Christmas and Picksmas, not the other one, it was 100 times your cash. Then we got up to 200 times. It's getting to be closer to Christmas. So you know what my friends at Prize Picks said? Let's give people a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Yeah, I had to look at this like 5 or 6 times. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. It's the best way, again, to get in on that sports action. Over 30 states, the best place to get it. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Merry Picksmas season. Download the app today. Use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right. Download the app. Use the code WI. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run
your
game. The 11 o'clock hour, and I just got a text from Josh in Heartland. We have the German version of Wilde and Tausch and the graphics to boot.
Oh, and I'll say this. So I can't wait for Josh. I also, Homer, whatever you want to call it, there's just something that my boy Dove Kleiman put out that Amon St. Brown just put out and will validate my thoughts. We'll do both, and we'll do it in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Although the Packers are out of the NFC North Division race, they're still in a strong position for an NFC wildcard berth with 4 games left. A win over the NFC West leading Seahawks in Seattle this weekend would go a long way to clinch a playoff berth, pending a few other results over the final 3 weeks. However, head coach Matt LaFleur doesn't want his team looking too far ahead.
We got to continue to look no further than right in front of us. That gives you your best opportunity to go out there on Sunday night and play your best ball. If we look any further than that, then you get your ass kicked in this league.
It's the Packers and Seahawks Sunday night from Lumen Field. Kickoff is at 7:20.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
First time building your own nest? Call Tri-City. We'll do the rest. Our hometown lenders will put you at ease. Your home building process will be a breeze. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, which will include Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia. We got to do a double dose today, Riley. You got 2 sets for me?
2 sets of trivia? No, I was not informed of the double trivia, but I can quick whip up. You know what? How about this? I wrote 3 questions. How about we have Grok write the other 3 questions?
I don't have access to him. And that's a little too close to Gronk, by the way. Who can you imagine if we had a AI version of Gronk? Now I'm really curious what that would spit out. No, I want to get to what Tausch teased before we get any further. What is Amon-Ra St. Brown doing now? Does he have a Green Bay Sucks sweatshirt on again? What did he do? What did he say?
No, but
and what's got you all riled up?
Well, I'm not really riled up. It's validation. You guys, people look at the Green Bay Packers and they think, okay, they're a young team. Detroit's this veteran team, beaten us twice, the favorites to go to the Super Bowl. No doubt. I'm not arguing that. But I told you that these playoff teams, if they could pick their opponent, Dallas would not have picked Green Bay last year. They would have picked somebody else, and they would have probably won.
Yep.
The Detroit Lions, and I think it's his brother. I think their podcast, it's EQ and whatever. I don't know.
ARS.
Amon-Ra St. ARSB. ARSB. And he asked him point blank. EQ asked him point blank, who would you rather face in the playoffs? Minnesota or Green Bay? And not to my surprise, and by the way, the Philadelphia Eagles would say the same thing. The Arizona Cardinals, if they make it, would say the same thing. Tampa Bay would say the same thing. I don't know. San Fran, I'm pretty sure they would say the same thing. We'll find out. Seattle, they're all going to tell you they take Minnesota. And so it's not just me, Johnny Homer, saying this stuff. It's you watch the games, guys.
He said
he said Minnesota. No, it's right there. Yeah, he said Minnesota. Now, he did it in a goofy way. But, yeah, he said that. And I think Most guys wouldn't say it like that, but we all know that's how people feel. And Minnesota they can have their feelings hurt, or they can go out and win and get the 1 seed, which I'm not going to lie to you. I'd be fascinated if that's and I think they're in a position. Detroit's going to lose a game, and then it's going to come down to that last game of the season. That'll be awesome to watch. How that will shake out, because I'm going to tell you this. If Detroit doesn't get the 1 or 2 seed, they ain't going to the Super Bowl. I feel very confident in saying that.
If they have to go to Philadelphia and play in cold weather, you mean? That kind of a thing?
I don't envision them. If they got to play 3 roadies to get there, which is if they don't win the division, that's where they're going to be, it's a tough haul for all of us. And there's not a reason. I know we in 2010-11 won it. The Giants found a way to do it, but there is a very short list of teams that had to go do 3 roadies and win a championship in this new playoff format. Very few.
Yeah. Are you? I guess my question is, do you believe that the Lions' number 1 seed, they will lose a game and it'll come down to the final week of them either getting the number 1 seed or not? Or do you think that they still could lose the division title and thereby having a home game at all to the Vikings team that you have poo-pooed quite a bit throughout the process?
Yeah, I know they play Buffalo. That's a coin toss game to me, even if it's in Detroit. I believe they have to play San Fran yet, right? Doesn't Detroit have to play San Fran? And San Fran is still clasping and grasping and strapping to try to get a win. So it's not as if it's dead set that Detroit is going to end up with 1 or 2 losses. And by the way, Minnesota can run the table and end up with only 2 losses. I don't know who'd own that tiebreaker, so I'd have to ask you that.
All right, so the final 4 games, for those that don't have the schedules in front of them, the Lions close the regular season at home against Buffalo on Sunday, at the Bears, at the 49ers, and then, as Tausch mentioned, at the Vikings. So
no, at home. I think it's at home, the Vikings, right?
Yes, you're right. You're right. It is at home against the Vikings, all right? So that's their remaining schedule.
I could see them losing 2 of those games, Jace. I could see them with 3 losses.
Yeah. The Vikings, meanwhile, play at home against the Bears, at Seattle, at home against the Packers, and then at Detroit in the finale.
Yeah, I think, again, I don't know the tiebreaker situation. I could definitely see where Minnesota is a game behind Detroit. Detroit maybe not needing it to win the division, but they do to win the 1 seed. That is not
That's
Minnesota.
What I was trying to get
easy.
at.
Yeah, there is going to be. I don't think that game will be meaningless, unless Philly falls off a cliff, which I don't think they will. I don't think that's going to be a meaningless game, and I do think Detroit could easily lose to Buffalo this week. But I worry. I think Buffalo doesn't match up great with Detroit because Detroit will pound the football down their throats. And so if they win this game this weekend, I think Detroit, you could pretty much put it down as if Green Bay can beat Minnesota, it'll be a deuces B for the division. And when that happens, then the worst that Detroit will be is a 2 seed.
The Lions are 8-1 within the conference. The Eagles, by the way, are 7-2. The Vikings, both their losses also in the conference, so they are 6-2 in the conference. Packers are 4-4, so that doesn't lend itself to a lot of help
that Detroit at Chicago game. BYOB.
Adverse conditions.
Lake, cold.
Lake effect, snow.
Nobody thinks the Bears are any good. Bring your preparedness if you're a Lions fan.
Okay. Going back to what Amon-Ra St. Brown said, and you said he said it in kind of a roundabout way.
Yeah, he wasn't like, bring me the Vikings, but it was, he had to choose, and he chose.
going back to your idea, which Homer, before he hung up on us, praised up and down, like he did your tournament repair for the in-season tournament for the NBA. So is that the kind of stuff that you really like the idea of? Because if that actually were available and the Lions were to pick the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell would be using that and playing it up to the hill. If they want us, we're going to give us to them. We're going to go in there and they're going to wish they hadn't picked playing us, right? That would be the biggest. Is that the biggest peril of your idea, that teams just don't want to have to then take that potential bulletin board material and hand it over to their opponent?
Yes, that is the only. But the fans of both fan bases would be stoked, and there's the default mechanism. You can always say, just tell us who we're playing, that's who we're playing.
Right.
But if you have a matchup where it's abundantly clear somebody's quarterback, like the year, what was the quarterback for the Vikings that came in and played? Gardner Webb? I don't care if you can piss off
Joe Webb.
You can piss off the Vikings all you want. Say, well, they got a third-string QB. We're going to kick the keister out of him anyways. Mm-hmm. That's what this would set up. And listen, I have come around. I used to be a purist of sports. I wanted everything to be just about the sport. I missed the boat. It's over. That is not what sports is. Sports is about competition still, but it's about just as much, if not more so, money and entertainment. And if that's what you've embraced, and by the way, that is what the NFL has embraced. Otherwise, you're not playing a Wednesday Christmas game, and you're not flying to Sao Paulo, and you're not going to go, I just saw they're doing one in Munich or Berlin. So you've embraced that, so now embrace it. Stop with we don't want to do this. No, guys are doing their own podcasts. Everybody is in it, and by the way, go for it. I have now embraced the same mentality of entertain me. That's what we're doing. And when you do that, don't start all of a sudden getting that might be a bridge too far. No, that isn't a bridge too far. It's a bridge that needs to be opened, and we need to start rolling with it because it's dang fun. That's what we need to do. So stop with the blank you-know-what around and say, bring it on, because we're big boys, and we like money, and we like entertainment, and as a fan base, we want that rivalry. This stokes that fire more. Bring it.
Well, don't blank around and find out. Make the switch to Associated Bank and find out how great their customer service is. Was that a groan?
No, I was just ready I had something dialed up, but I'm glad you're doing it.
Oh, I thought you... Oh, okay.
No, we're good. That's why I said keep rolling.
We need to play trivia, but I do need to tell you that if you make the switch to Associated Bank, you will be making the switch and finding out how great their customer service is. I've known it for years now. You should know it as well. And if you're a Packers fan, you definitely should know it, because it means that you get Packers checking from Associated Bank and all of the great things that come with it, including Packers checks, a Packers debit MasterCard, and 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop, both in-store and online. So go to associatedbank.com/Packers to find out more. Riley has not only delivered his own 3 questions for Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia, but because we need to do a second round of trivia, did you really do this, Riley?
Yeah, I went on Grok AI and had him write me 3 Wisconsin Geography-themed questions. And the first ones were really easy, so I was like, hey, could you get a little more obscure? And I think Grok got pretty obscure here. These are tough.
I don't want to tell people what to do.
Pick the first question.
But pick the ones that Riley chose. Caller 8 and caller 10 for trivia. Caller 8 and caller 10 for trivia. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 8 and caller 10 will play trivia, and they'll do it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense, Matt LaFleur's side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. There's no wrapping needed, and this season you can try their newest holiday pastry, Eggnog Kringle, created to bring festive cheer to your celebration. Filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon, it's perfect for sharing with loved ones. Go to Kringle.com to order or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, it's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The big guy needs your help this holiday season, and he's recruiting the Corners of Brookfield for help because the perfect gift is right around the corners. Head to the Corners for all your gifting needs and find something for anyone thanks to their 30-plus restaurants and retailers. Or just wrap up a Corners gift card to create a great, well-rounded gift. Looking for something only Santa can deliver? Drop off letters in a special North Pole mailbox in the Market Square through December 22nd. Make your shopping list and check it twice. Visit the Corners of Brookfield.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
From last year, ski shop encounter, most interesting, had his number but never the time, most
Poor Riley. Riley does a really good job. He has been one of our rising stars at ESPN Madison. And he always steps into the breach, which is frequently, when Jesse does not work. Now, Mo is a little under the weather, so Jesse's taking him to the vet today. So he's not on the program. So Riley steps in, but Riley has never had two trivia contestants simultaneously.
So not easy.
So he's run into a bit of a, well, I'd like to call it a technical glitch, but basically hung up on Jerry of the Prairie.
That is true. I should know how to do this, and we have Hunter Vaughn coming in to assist, so we'll get this figured out shortly.
So we do have at least one contestant. We have Sean in Waukesha, so he is ready to play. And apparently he was the first caller, so he has already wisely selected the questions that Riley wrote. If and when we get reconnected with Jerry in the Prairie, he will get to enjoy those questions created by Grok. Jesse, who apparently listening on his way back from the veterinarian's office, a little bit concerned that Grok may take his job. I can assure you, this is not going to be good enough for Jesse to lose his gig. Now, Up North Joe's questions, maybe, but not Grok's.
What happened? Up North Joe get too busy? You can't keep doing this?
Took the week off. Yeah, took the week off. Went up north, I guess. I'm assuming.
Oh.
Riley, what's...
Typically, you go up north, you have more time.
You would think.
To do stuff.
Yeah, you would think. Jesse, are we... Jesse. Riley, do we have our contestants now?
No, I'm about to call Jerry in the Prairie back. He has yet to call. But we
Why
have,
don't we knock
if you want
these
to talk
three
to
out?
Sean,
Yes.
Yeah, if
So
you want
we're
to go
gonna
with
play
Sean,
with
Sean is ready to go.
Right now, yes. Good idea.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Kevin Moret from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, I know you hate to feel weak. That means something different for every guy, but for most guys, it means the way they look and move through their day. Did you know that 70% of Mentality clients see an increase in their muscle mass, their muscle tone, and the way they look? This means our clients got their confidence back. If you're looking to look and feel the way you did years ago, join the over 25,000 guys at Mentality and get your confidence back. Go to mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home, to a generator to keep your lights on, or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
Calling all green and gold fans. Ditch the stress and ride in style to Green Bay with the Milwaukee Broadhouse. With round-trip rides starting at $85 per person to every home game, you can enjoy all you can drink on the bus. No need to worry about traffic or parking. Milwaukee Broadhouse even has a private restroom on board. Upgrade your experience with an all-you-can-eat and drink tailgate package for $30 more. Don't miss out. Secure your seat now at MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com. Let's make every game day legendary.
Who is the Bucks' all-time leading scorer? Where do the Bucks win their only other championship? Which rookie once scored 55 points in a single game? If you know the answers, a shopping spree at the Bucks Pro Shop is on the line.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
Join ESPN Milwaukee Friday, December 13th at noon inside the Bucks Pro Shop for Bucks Trivia.
Trivia! Trivia, baby!
Answer the questions right, and a $500 Bucks shopping spree is yours. December 13th at noon at the Bucks Pro Shop.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Kringle, all I want for Christmas is you.
Dad!
What?
We talked about this. Yeah, your jingle for your Kringle entry last year was so lame that Racine Danish Kringle banned you from their contest.
I thought it was only a one holiday season ban.
It was a lifetime ban.
Well, I guess I'm out, but here's how you can enter our ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringle jingle for your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tausch. Submit your own original jingle to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will get Kringle for a year. Make sure you include Racine Danish Kringle. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition in your jingle. If you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with Racine Danish Kringle, call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com and order their all-new Eggnog Holiday Kringle.
Racine Danish Kringle, such a tasty, yummy treat with a flaky crust and sweet icing. It's the best thing you can eat.
Oh, like that's so much better than mine.
Well, at least we're not off key.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Riley, it's one thing to lose a caller, but did we lose the entire show for a minute there?
We did. You guys froze. We weren't hearing anything anymore from you, and I had to throw the break. So, yeah, everything just went down.
I feel like Jesse potentially sabotaged this.
He's a saboteur.
He put Riley in a spot where he's trying to get two callers on a double trivia Tuesday, Wednesday. Doesn't leave him questions. Riley's hitting all kinds of buttons. Next thing you know, we're all off air, and Jesse looks like this place can't run without me. It feels saboteur-ish to me.
I'm with you. All right, so does this mean we now have both contestants?
Yes. Yes, we do.
All right, so last time I said this, we ended up off the air.
Do we believe that? I don't know what's going on.
Sean in Waukesha, welcome to the show.
I think I should get an automatic free right.
I agree. I agree.
Well, that's so should Jerry in the Prairie, who may have triggered this whole network outage. Jerry, good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. You are a longtime loyal listener, so we appreciate you putting up with our brief ineptitude. All right. So we've got two sets of questions, one written by Riley Yauk, one written by Grok. It has been decided.
Riley Grok. Am I right?
Hey, not bad. Not bad. It has been declared that Sean gets the Riley questions. So question number one, Sean, from Riley Yauk, is this. The Center for Advanced Manufacturing and Artificial Intelligence is located at which Wisconsin System University? Is it at UW Stout, Madison Area Technical College, or UW Grock?
Let's go with A.
That is correct, Sean. Did I hear someone say Stout in the background? Am I hearing things? Is there an echo in here?
No.
Okay.
Might
good
be
work.
an echo on my side.
That could be. All right, I was going to say. All right, you got that one right. Now we go over to Riley Grock, and Jerry in the Prairie's question. Jerry, your first question, created by Grock, is this. There's a geological formation in Wisconsin known as the Door Bluff Headlands, part of which county that also gives its name to one of the state's most famous natural attractions. Grock's got to work on its sentence structure. Is it part of Brown County, Door County, or Kewaunee County?
Got to go with Door.
Well, Grock even knows to make the first question easier. This is pretty amazing.
All right.
I got news for you, Jerry. Question 2 and question 3 are not going to be easy. All right, Sean, question 2 for you is this. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin cities is located farthest north? Is it Ladysmith, Rhinelander, or Rice Lake?
Oh. I'm going to say Rhinelander.
And you'd be correct. Well done.
I would have said Rice Lake. I would have been wrong on that.
I
love Rhineland.
I thought that, Tausch. I was thinking that.
Well, Good thing you didn't go with that thought. All right. Good luck, Jerry. Question 2.
All right.
In Wisconsin, there is a unique geographical feature known as a kettle lake, which glacial event is primarily responsible for creating these lakes in the state. Is it the Laurentide ice sheet, the Wisconsin glaciation, or the Pleistocene glaciation?
Let's go with B.
When in doubt, go with B. All right, you're both 2 for 2 against all odds and against the internet going out. All right, question 3, Sean, for a clean sweep for you is this. Which Wisconsin city is known as the birthplace of the ice cream sundae? The birthplace of the ice cream sundae. Is it Edgerton, Seymour, or Two Rivers?
Oh, I'm gonna go with C.
That's what I'm gonna guess too.
All right, well done. Two Rivers is correct. 3 for 3 for Sean. Now, the final question, Jerry from Grock. What is the name of the only national forest in Wisconsin that shares its name with a chain of islands in Lake Superior? Is it the Chequamegon Nicolet National Forest? I think I may have butchered that. The Ottawa National Forest, or the Superior National Forest?
Let's go with A.
That's what I would go with.
Wow. Tausch, have you been there?
It's a heck of a day. That is a heck of a day.
Have you been to the Nicolet National Forest?
Where did you say that was near again? You were talking to Lake Superior?
It is near Lake Superior. I know you're a big aficionado of the Great Lakes.
Yeah, we spent some good time up there. I remember there being Nicolet. I know Nicolet's a big forest up there, so that was why I thought that.
Okay. Well, Sean and Jerry, congratulations. You both managed, even with Grok involved, to get all three right apiece. That gives you 4 total entries apiece into Friday's drawing. Well done, gentlemen. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Thanks. Love you guys, Jerry. Love you guys.
I love it when we're bringing people together.
Congratulating each other. This is what this is all about.
It's for the culture.
This little fun community that we have built, that right there made my day. Kudos to both. I think we should give them both a 5th entry for having to put up with all that stuff. But that's just my opinion.
If Jesse were here, he would say, check out ESPNWisconsinContest.com for more information.
Entries.com.
Let's take this opportunity before we close out the show with Woe Riley for you to tell us what Fortrea's got going on these days in terms of clinical trials.
Well, they got a ton of great stuff, as I always tell you. Different studies, big money, variance in days. And I got another big one here. Healthy overweight adults, ages 18 to 65. BMI, 27 to 40. 2 separate stays, totaling, in one of my favorite numbers, 65 nights, 6 outpatient visits, $27,463 for your time and participation. Plus another $400 per qualified referral. Again, head over to FortreaClinicalTrials.com. Find the study that fits what you're looking for, the cash you need. Again, Fortrea, Fortrea, ClinicalTrials.com.
We will wrap up the show with Whoa Riley. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
You still had a cigarette lighter in there?
No, we should all be dead.
An ashtray.
They have they have the station wagons where the people in the back were facing the other direction.
The Homer Hour with Homer.
The Packers got more money than God, so there's in the NFL there's no shortage. Yes, we need fundamentally in the NFL, anything Detroit does, you just assume you can do it better.
Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at Bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. Better is right around the corner in 2025. Feeling better, that is. Getting rid of that joint pain once and for all. QC Kinetics is your solution to finally getting that joint pain relief that you are looking for. When I went to QC Kinetics, I found them to be incredibly accommodating, knowledgeable, and personal to be able to take what I was dealing with and put me on my own individualized plan to pain relief. So no matter what you're dealing with, shoulders, knees, hips, or back, it was back for me. The medical professionals at QC Kinetics are going to use all the tools in their tool belt to help give you that pain relief you've been looking for. So many things that allow you to feel your best for a brand new year. If you've been told surgery is your only or best option, you deserve a second opinion. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation to live your best life in 2025. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Experience the excellence of Catholic Memorial High School for yourself. Come see why their students gain a competitive edge at CMH. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule a VIP tour or student shadow day. Meet their inspiring teachers, welcoming students, and feel the energy of the CMH culture. All students achieve more than they ever imagined possible. Visit CatholicMemorial.net to schedule your visit. That's CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where you rise.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Before we get to Will Riley, you said that we got a couple of calls on the correct pronunciation.
Yes, we did.
Of what was that?
It is pronounced Shawamigan Nicolet National Forest on the Shawamigan Bay, up near Lake Superior, near the Apostle Islands. Dan in Brothertown and Corey, who lives in the Shawamigan Bay, also called to correct our pronunciation.
Okay, good, but that means there's a Q in there.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a silent Q before?
I love a good silent Q.
Yeah, I guess this time there is.
Wow. Okay. We'll learn something new every day.
Say that one more time, Riles. So how do you pronounce that?
Shawamigan.
Shawamigan.
Yes, and I guess if that's incorrect, Dan in Brothertown, call back and correct me again. We'll get you on air to say it.
He's pretty good. He's a good trivia player too. Dan in the Brothers. Great area. Just so far to get up there, but great area. One of the beauties.
Time now for Will Riley.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocco's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I got to stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Hey, Riles, you haven't jumped on the camera much today.
No.
And we haven't heard a ton about your love life. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's been going on?
Yeah, I will. It's been a while now. I forgot to tell you this, Tausch. I told Jason a while ago when I filled in.
And I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, which I appreciate, Jason. I appreciate that. However, my love life is a little dry right now as me and Katie broke up about 2 months ago. Or I guess a month and a half,
man.
2 months, something wrong.
Was
something
it
along those
amicable?
lines. Yes.
What happened?
Yes. It was amicable. We're just at different spots in life. Long distance relationships are difficult.
Who initiated? Who was the initiator?
I will humble myself here. She was the initiator. It was more of her breaking up with me than me breaking up with her. So I will.
Thank you for humbling yourself.
Yes,
for telling us the truth.
Yeah. Well, I know some people think
the truth can be humbling sometimes.
That it can. That it can. Some people would lie about it and say, "Oh, it was mutual." It was not as mutual as I would have liked it to be.
What?
Whoa, Riley!
Okay, fair enough. I had a lot of other questions I'd like to jump in there on, but I'm okay with moving on.
Yeah, if you want, you can go for it.
All right, he's giving you the green light.
I'll let you know if I'm comfortable answering it or not.
Okay, were you at the point where you were thinking holiday engagement potential?
I wasn't at engagement potential yet. Like, down the line, sure, like it crossed my mind, but not in the near future, no.
Okay. Jason, you got anything?
You're the one who had lots of questions.
Well, I sense a little, and I love uncomfortability, especially when it's not me that's uncomfortable. So, I don't think I need to go any further. That's a bummer, Riley. I know how much you enjoyed this young lady's company, so I apologize. I don't apologize. I was generally interested.
Yep. No, I appreciate that.
What do you think? I do have a question now that you bring it up.
I knew you would.
So I'm glad it was amicable-ish.
Yes, it was amicable. Yes.
So do you think she kept all the handwritten letters, or do you think those get thrown away now?
A great question.
That is a good question.
Burned in a fire pit.
I don't know. I would assume they're gone.
Shredded.
I'm just going to assume they're gone. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not going to reach out and ask.
And you don't want them back?
No, I'm good.
Repurpose them, white out the name at the top. Sally!
Yeah, or I'll like put them online so people can copy and paste, turn it into a template.
You could actually help lovelorn other dudes with your skill with the quill. This could be an opportunity. You know, God closes a door, opens
another
a window.
one opens. Yep, exactly. Yeah, you could turn this into a business venture.
Yeah, you could ghostwrite love letters for other people.
Yeah, I guess if anyone out there listening needs a love letter written, I have some spare time, so let me know.
It's not a bad idea.
Because he doesn't have any dates lined up currently.
What I kind of want to do is we could do this, and we could have Riley write a couple because he's now known us long enough, and we could rock and see who's got a better love letter writing, and could put that in the Christmas present to our significant others. That could be something fun.
There you go. I'm down. If you need them, let me know.
Okay. Riley, what else you got for Riley? Riley.
Alrighty, so what was going to be my first topic is what's your go-to karaoke song? Me and my friends are going karaokeing this weekend, and I want to know. I feel like everyone's got a go-to. So what are your guys' go-to karaoke songs?
Tausch, you love karaoke.
Love Shack. I love Love Shack. I think, I'm also a big fan when it comes to a little bit about Jack and Diane, a little ditty. That's another one that I like going to, but it doesn't really matter to me. I like just getting up, and that's why we enjoy doing the headlines and we sing, even though it was a lot of work. I enjoy that, even though I realize and can recognize I'll humbly, as Riley did, I will humbly say I am not the greatest singer out there.
I feel like that's what karaoke's for, though. It's for all of us who aren't good at singing to get a chance and sing with little to no embarrassment.
I think we should have a Christmas karaoke on the show, and we should all sing songs on an episode toward the end of the year. What do you think? Has to be a Christmas song, kind of an extension of the Jingle for Your Kringle. No? Okay.
I like that.
Idea.
I like that idea.
I like the song Shallow, the one with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
The one from the movie?
You sing that as a duet. I think Paula and I did that many, many years ago, or maybe not that many years ago. Also, I'm a Backstreet Boys guy. They're kind of right in my, octave. So, I Want It That Way is kind of one of the ones that I've sung previously to very little acclaim. So those would be my choices.
It's a good choice.
Riley. Whoa, Riley.
Nice. All righty.
I feel like the show's over, and it ended in quite spectacular fashion.
That it did.
Oh,
that
wow.
It did.
Whoa, Riley's ending the show?
Well, we had that technical glitch.
We had to take another break.
I forgot about that glitch. Oh, wow. Good
So-
work today, Riley.
Yeah,
Even though
other
the
than getting us
saboteur came
knocked off
for you,
the
you
air
managed.
and hanging up on one of our most loyal listeners, I thought it was a great day. You did a great job. Thanks for sharing the pain of your love life.
Of course.
And thanks for stepping in for Jesse with Mo being a little bit under the weather. That's it for us today. Thanks not only to Riley as our cousin sub of the day, but also thanks to Brian Bulaga and Uncle Homer. And thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. There's no wrapping needed, and this season you can try their newest holiday pastry, Eggnog Kringle, created to bring festive cheer to your celebration. Filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon, it's perfect for sharing with loved ones. Go to Kringle.com to order or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, it's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to Welkes.com. That's WELKES.
Nothing stops this train. Nothing.
Get used to the mantra, all gas, no brake, no brake, no brake.
From the headquarters of ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut, this is Carlin versus Joe on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I honestly cannot remember a time when so many teams have been having success when they had major quarterback questions in the offseason, and they still don't know what the answer is beyond this season. It's nuts. We were talking about the Vikings a little while ago, maybe more so with the Steelers. Carlin versus Joe, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 80. Yeah. Be a part of the Carlin versus Joe Nation on the Dr. Pepper call-in line at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Looks like George Pickens.
You've read that 5,000 times. Channel 80 really caught you off guard there.
Yeah. Curveball.
Been Channel 80 for a while.
It's like the old knee buckled right there.
You're like, Channel 8. Wait, let me double. Yeah, Channel 80. Channel 8 is still Channel 80 for the 12th consecutive year.
And this is me, non sequiturs. I'm here. You're going to deal with non sequiturs. Just deal with it. It's like a friend in high school, and I was playing baseball in high school. A friend of mine's coaching first base. He's got the signals from the catcher. He's going to signal me whether it's a fastball coming or a curveball. Yeah, he purposely told me it was a curveball coming when it was a fastball.
Why?
Because he's a jerk.
He's your
because
teammate.
He's my friend who just wanted to stick to me. And then and my knee just buckled as I watch a fastball come right down the chute. Strike three, inning over. And I just dropped the bat and look at him.
Hell of a teammate.
Yeah. Jack Dowling. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it. He also told an umpire to bleep off one time. That was great.
What's he doing now, if I may ask?
I wish I knew.
Let's figure that one out.
It's either jail or he's a billionaire. He's one of two things. It's either jail or a billionaire. Anyway, the situation with Russell Wilson absolutely confounds me. And I've watched it all season. And I'm so happy that they are where they are right now.
As a Steeler fan,
you're good
here?
Yes.
All right.
As a Steeler fan, I am so happy that they are where they are, sitting here at 10-3 right now. Never saw it coming. Thought all season you're going to be bouncing back and forth between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. What are they supposed to do here? Like we talked about paying Sam Darnold. Are they supposed to now pay Russell Wilson for the future and keep him there?
What does a deal like that look like?
It's another one
is
of
it
those.
A 5-year deal? It can't be a 5-year deal. Russ is 36. I know he would like the 5-year, $200 million contract. I don't think that's coming from anywhere.
No.
And given the way things ended in Seattle and went in Denver, you'd have to figure if he's managed the money properly, and I'm not judging in any way. I'm just saying if you're good financially, this Steelers situation has been very good for you.
Right.
What I'm implying is like a little bit of a hometown discount. Like if the deal here is anywhere close to anything else that's out there, I'd rather stay in Pittsburgh where the fans seem to like me. We're winning. I'm playing well. I mean, why would you want to test the waters elsewhere?
I think the deal probably looks like Kirk Cousins. Probably looks like 4, 160, and 100 guaranteed.
That's that might be way too much.
I agree, but I don't think it's a Daniel Jones either, where 82 is guaranteed over 2 years or 3 years. I don't see that.
So what is the option? Because obviously, like usual, Pittsburgh's going to win enough games where they're not going to be drafting high.
Right.
But this isn't a quarterback class where everyone's going early like last year. Field Yates set to join us in about 27 minutes. He's going to go over his mock. He's got Shador 1, Cam Ward 2. But after that, there's a drop-off. Jalen Milroe could be coming out from Alabama. Carson Beck. Drew Aller from Penn State starting to gain some steam. Quinn Ewers. I mean, I'm not advocating for any of these guys. I'm just saying this is the list of guys where if you're Pittsburgh, are you thinking about using a first-round pick, which is a late first-round pick, to bring in the heir apparent and then maybe sign Russ to like a 2-year deal or what? Because if you're Pittsburgh, I don't know if you're going to do much better. But if you're Russ, like, I think, you know what I think it's going to come down to? I think everything we're seeing now doesn't matter. I think it's the playoff run. If this is a Pittsburgh wins 12 games, goes into the playoffs, opening round, knocked out. Or opening round, a little shaky, but they advance. Then round 2, they need points and they can't get them. I think everyone's going to go, all right, this was nice, but the ceiling's not there. We can't do it.
Okay.
However, we win some games and Russ is playing smart football and maybe we're flirting with the AFC Championship game because of smart football at the quarterback position, I don't see why Pittsburgh would be looking elsewhere.
Is it decided even before that? Next 11 days beginning Sunday. They travel to Philadelphia on Sunday and play at 425. They haven't won there since not even the Kennedy administration, Lyndon Johnson, I believe, 1965.
I heard that this morning. That is insanity to me.
Yeah.
Now, I know they don't play each other that often, but the idea that the Steelers have not won in Philadelphia since the 60s?
It's a 10-game losing streak since 1965.
Oh, that wasn't Chuck Noll. Wasn't Chuck Noll 69?
Yeah, Chuck Noll was later.
So it was whoever the bum was before.
Yeah.
Before this
when
run
they were
of
really awful.
Before this run of 3 coaches since 1969 that we reference 10 times every year.
December 21st, which is 6 days later, they got the Ravens in Baltimore.
So they go Sunday, Philadelphia on the road. Then it's Baltimore on a Saturday.
Yep. And then Christmas Day on Wednesday, they have the Chiefs in Kansas City, I believe. Or no, that's in Pittsburgh.
That's in Pittsburgh.
That's in Pittsburgh.
That's an insane stretch. 11 days at Philly. Did you say hosting Baltimore?
At Baltimore.
At Philly, at Baltimore, hosting Kansas City.
Yeah.
What are we thinking this 3-game run looks like? That could be an 0-3 run.
Could be. Could easily be an 0-3 run.
Not predicting it, but you go 0-3 there. What are we saying? That could swing the whole division.
Well, you've got Baltimore that they would pick up a game immediately there. They're sitting at 8-5, 2 games back. They go 0-3, and then all of a sudden Baltimore's got a sniff.
Don't forget about Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Yeah. Then there's, listen, when you have those 3 games, that might determine it. Like if Russ goes 2-1 in those games and plays well, and they're still, listen, the one thing he has done, he has allowed them to at least stretch it down the field a little bit more.
They've been fine.
Yeah.
They have been fine. Where has he looked bad? I don't know.
That's the thing. It's fine. It's like if I need Russ to go win a game, is he going to go win a game?
I don't think it doesn't really feel like that. It doesn't feel like he's going to do that multiple times in a playoff stretch.
I guess what sickens me about the league right now is the idea that you can just have guys in the middle of the road, and that's good enough. That's good enough. Like, we can win with that. And generally speaking, when you make that statement, you actually can't. You actually can't. Average does not win in the league. Wins in sports radio, doesn't win in the league.
Maybe it's not so much winning in the league, it's competing. Average, you can compete in the league. which is what the Steelers are doing right now. They're competing. But winning at the highest level, maybe that's too much. What are the other options, though? What would they even consider? If it's through the draft, that's not going to be someone that's going to be ready to go next year. Do they make a move for, like, Sam Darnold? All the Dak Prescott talk is off the table right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what there is.
I don't know.
Kirk Cousins could be available if Atlanta gets rid of him and wants to go to Penix, but the thing is, I don't think anyone's interested in Kirk Cousins. This was supposed to be the dream spot for Cousins. All these weapons, soft division, indoors. He has not been good. We can blame the Achilles, we can blame age, we can say whatever we want. He hasn't been good. They should have already turned the page to Michael Penix, but they're caught between a rock and a hard place because of this whole, well, we're competing for the division and we don't. Well, they're not competing for anything. Like, the division stinks. You put them anywhere else, they're not in contention. They would have already turned it over to Penix.
There isn't an answer. There isn't an answer, and that's why they are going to end up sticking with him. And I wonder, like, does Arthur Smith become a head coach again somewhere else? Like, we were talking about the Chicago situation yesterday. I could see Arthur Smith ending up the head coach in Chicago. Because
Chicago is not going to be happy with
No, and
I'm going to let you know that. I'm going to speak on behalf of Chicago right now.
I agree, but are they going to find themselves in a position where, like, Ben Johnson doesn't want to go there because of this whole Kevin Warren situation, who is supposedly just running this whole show from a football standpoint and is not a football guy in any way. I saw this today, was brought in to build a stadium, and they've got, like, no stadium deal that seems to be locked down. They've had like 3 different options and nothing's locked.
Yeah, they've been dancing for a while.
But point being, like, if he's not there, is Russ going to continue to play at that level after you pay him?
Do you think Russ is going to draw a lot of interest from outside Pittsburgh because he's going to be a free agent?
I think a lot of people are going to be skeptical because of just that.
Yeah. So, I mean, Pittsburgh probably gets an opportunity where they don't have to go 5 years, short-term deal, max out the money in terms of, like, people might say, oh, my God, 2 years, $60 million, $30 million is insane for Russ. But given the rest of the market, and I don't even know. Pittsburgh's going to have decent cap space next year, I think, because we always talked about trying to figure out that Dak Prescott deal.
Yeah. No, I think they're going to be okay. I'd have to look right now to see what
it feels like it's going to be him, barring an injury, some awful collapse over the next 3 weeks, or a complete flame out in the playoffs. I don't know what they're going to do, and that kind of speaks to Pittsburgh football in the post-Ben Roethlisberger era. It's been nothing but, this guy's good enough. They took the chance with Pickett. It didn't work. This guy's good enough.
Right now, middle of the pack at about $54 million in space. Okay. So, it feels like you're going to be stuck again between a rock and a hard place. And as we see in the league, it is very difficult to keep all the necessary components in place when you are talking about a player that clearly needs very specific things to be successful.
You seem not thrilled as a Steeler fan at the idea of Russ coming back.
Still not.
How about this? Brace yourself. We go back to Fields. No, we're not doing that either.
That doesn't do it.
What's the Fields market look like this offseason?
I think you just answered that. Like, I think somebody will sign him, somebody will bring him in, but it's not everybody's going to be pounding down his door because he was decent in the first 4 games.
He's moving to career backup status?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think we're headed there. Carlin versus Joe, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 80. It'll be a very interesting thing to watch for this offseason. Hey, Joe, what to watch for is brought to you by Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Get great deals on the hottest tickets. Experience it live. In moments. What does that say? A.J. Brown. I thought it said Al Brown. A.J. Brown isn't the only wide receiver who is mad about his touches. That's next. Al Brown's the other one on ESPN Radio.
This week on Football Sunday on ESPN Radio, it's a Pennsylvania showdown between division leaders. Russell Wilson and the AFC North leading Steelers head east to Philadelphia to face Saquon Barkley and the NFC East leading Eagles.
Barkley high steps it.
Coverage begins Sunday at 4 Eastern on select ESPN radio stations.
Hear that? The sound of adorable little birds in your garden. And if you were here, you'd taste the 2 sweet but tiny tomatoes you grew all by yourself. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens when you're riding your motorcycle, protected by Progressive, on your way to the store for a pack of normal-sized tomatoes. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without getting your hands dirty. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
It's your last chance to snag Dell Technologies' lowest prices of the year before the holidays. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. This is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's the holiday season, my favorite time of year. Festive decorations, family gatherings, using our gift boxes. Honestly, I'm happier to see a Using Our Gift Box at my door than Santa. The Using Our Gift Box doesn't require cooking, just eating. And who's not up for that during the holidays? Make someone's day by sending them the tastiest gift in town, a box filled with Using Our's delicious sausage, cheese, and assorted goodies. Order yours today. It's easy. Just go to usingour.com and click on gifts.
'Tis the season for celebrating, so why not make your holiday gathering unforgettable? Give your team or clients an experience they'll talk about long after the new year with V Private Bar Services. Forget the same old office party. With custom cocktails tailored to your brand and a top-notch mixologist team, V Private Bar Services brings the magic of a high-end bar to your event. Make this holiday season extraordinary. Visit vprivatebar.com to book your premier party today. That's vprivatebar.com for your next unforgettable event.
From your best friend who lives on caffeine to your teenager who always forgets to fill up their tank, Quick Trip gift cards are the ultimate holiday hack for everyone on your list. Pick one up in-store or online, and they'll have everything they need. Coffee, snacks, groceries, fuel, and more, all with one thoughtful gift. And honestly, who has time for complicated gift shopping? We know you don't. Give the gift that keeps life moving. Holiday gift cards from Quick Trip.
Save big money at Menards. We've always got water heaters in stock, ready to take home today. Get continuous hot water with Richmond tankless water heaters. They heat water only when you need it to save you money on your energy bills. Save energy, save space, and save big money on Richmond tankless water heaters on sale now through December 15th. View all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Kevin Moret from Mentality Health. Guys, do you know that the average free testosterone level we see in men is just a third of what it should be? Try doing your day with only a third of the energy, strength, and drive that you need with a third of the hormone that drives it. Drained energy, lack of motivation, you won't recognize yourself. We can fix that. Our doctors work closely with you to restore back 100% free testosterone. Nothing will change until you do. Book your $55 blood test today to find out how you stack up at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Start the day with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Can't get to the Super Bowl in early October, but they are not playing like a team that has those types of aspirations right now.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Field Yates in 15 minutes on his brand new mock draft. Just out, Carlin versus Joe, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 80, presented